Live and local, it's time for Fan Sports Sunday. If the weekend is a big desert for sports talk, think of this show as an oasis.
Yes, here we go.
Come drink from our pool of hot takes as you quench your thirst with. I thought I was going somewhere, but I'm not. So let's just start the show. Here's Elon Musk.
All right, not Elon Musk.
You should get that changed.
Look, a month ago I asked Fish, I said, hey, look, with all the political stuff going on, can we get it changed? He said, sure. A month ago. So I'm going to tell you now, Tyvis, that tells you where I'm at on the totem pole of important things.
You know what the crazy thing is?
Please.
I'm below you.
No, you're not. Don't you dare. We are not playing. No,
I'm below you.
We are not playing that game today. We are not doing it.
I don't have job security.
I'll show you the text that says you did. Okay, yeah, you do. So we're not going to do that. Anyway, we got a big show lined up for you today. We're going to start off. Look, usually we do like the whole, this is going on, this is going on, this is going on. I'm not going to do that today because right now out of the gates, we have got a legend in the world of American sports. Mike Eurizione is going to join us right now on the Brian Heating Cooling System Fan Guest Hotline. Mike Eurizione, if you're my age, you know who the hell I'm talking about. If you're a little bit younger than me, you know who the hell I'm talking about because if you probably watched the movie Miracle, where he was the guy who scored the game. He was the captain of that team, scored the game-winning goal against the Soviet Union in the most important game in United States hockey history. And if you're watching the Four Nations final, he came out on the ice before the game wearing a Johnny Gaudreau jersey, and the Johnny hockey chant started, all those things. Mike, I know you're bombarded right now. It's 45 years ago yesterday, U.S. beat Russia. 45 years ago tomorrow, U.S. beat Finland for the gold medal. I'm curious, with the Johnny Gaudreau situation, who very beloved here in Columbus, and it hit us all here hard when he passed away last year. What led? I want to know first, have you ever met Johnny Gaudreau? And two, what led to you wearing his jersey on the ice on Thursday in the before the Four Nations final?
Well, I had met Johnny only a couple of times. There was a benefit game in Boston. I believe it was the Travis Roy Foundation, and they had a lot of Boston University, Boston College, Harvard guys playing this game, and Johnny played. So it was a brief hello, nice to meet you. But I could tell right away he had a great energy, a great smile, and obviously a great hockey player. So I did get a chance to meet him. Got a chance to meet his dad when we spoke to the team in Montreal. His dad was part of the guest list, me and Mike Modano and Rob McClanahan from my 80 team. But it was my decision. They gave me, I asked them what I was going to wear, and they said, well, we have a replica, Four Nations jersey for you to wear. And I'm like, I'm not on the team. I said, I'd like to wear Johnny's jersey because Johnny obviously would have been on that team. He might have even been the captain of that team. And I just thought the right thing to do was to pay tribute to Johnny and not only his character as a person, but a great hockey player as well.
Mike, what did you think of the Four Nations? Obviously, the All-Star game was great in its totality, but now that they decided to go with this Four Nation format, what did you think of it? Did you like it? Is it a success? What do you think?
I thought it was unbelievable. I thought it was great. It was great for hockey. It was clearly great for two great countries that have arguably the two best teams in the world. And to showcase that and the way they played and how hard they played, again, I loved it. I loved it. I hope they do it again. I don't think they can do it every year, partly because they have a season to play as well. And as you saw, guys got hurt. We don't know if McAvoy, I live in Boston, so is McAvoy gone for the year? That affects the Boston Bruins and their fan base. But, I think it's something that could be done every 2 years. And maybe you throw the Soviets into that, mixture as well. It's unfortunate that the situation globally didn't give the Soviets a chance to play, or even the Czech Republic and some of those other countries. So I'm again, totally in favor of it. I thought it was outstanding.
Mike, was you shocked at how hard these players played? I mean, we know that it's in the middle of a season, and obviously once it's done, guys got to go back to their regular teams and, compete for championships. Were you shocked that they were able to give this type of effort?
No, not at all, because when they decided to go to the pros a few years ago in the Olympic Games, I talked to some of the players, and they said, look, this is different. We're playing for our country. We can settle our differences when we go back to our teams. But when you put the USA jersey on, these guys realize how special that is and how important that is. And I think you heard all the players talk about that. And, one of the things, and I've said this since 1980, and I always say it this way, it's my opinion, because you got to be careful what you say today. I think other than being in the military or a police officer or a firefighter, there's no greater feeling than to put a USA jersey on. You're not playing for Chicago or Columbus or Boston. You're playing for the United States. And I think these players understand that and realize it, and that's why they played so hard.
Mike Eurizione joins us here on the Brian Heating Cooling System fan guest hotline. So, Mike, by the way, that's Tyvis Powell to my right. He played for the 2014 National Championship team for Ohio State. The T, though, stands for Tin Man, so he's going to make fun of me for saying this. But I told you I texted you yesterday. I watched Miracle with my 8-year-old son last night. It's the first time I've ever seen it. Had a lot of questions. And every time I watch that, if I watch that movie or if I watch live, like the YouTube, or I'm sorry, like the real footage from it, I always tear up when Jim Craig is looking for his father and when you motioned all the guys to come up on the podium, which is supposed to be for like one guy, and the whole team's up there hugging each other. Every time, doesn't matter, I tear up. Tyvis can't relate to that. But
sure can.
So when I'm watching that, my son says to me, "Dad, why are you crying?" And I said, "Son, sports are not the most important thing, but you can learn some of life's most important lessons." Do you agree with that?
Oh, 100% agree with that. There's more, my dad always said to me, there's more to life than athletics. And I think that's kind of how I've always lived my life. I have two sons that were really good players, and people always ask me, what do you tell your sons? I tell my sons to be good kids, be a good teammate, be a good friend, be a good neighbor, because those are far more important than touchdowns and goals and things like that. So I think the values you learn in sports and the lessons you learn in sports carry into the real world.
I believe out of the 20 of you on that team, I think 13 had time in the NHL. Some of you did not. And I'm wondering, totally understand, if when you were younger, like a couple of years removed, say like 82, 83, it would not surprise me if some of you may have said, you know what, I would trade that moment for a long NHL career and a Stanley Cup. As you get older, and where you're at now, I would think none of you would trade it. Was there ever a point when you were younger that you thought, man, that was great, but I really wish instead, because you were younger, I'm sure you wanted to win a Stanley Cup. You wanted to play in the NHL. That was your goal. Was there ever a moment early on when you were younger where you thought, I kind of wish I had this instead of that?
Yeah, I wanted to play baseball.
Mike, it's totally different.
I was actually an all-state football, hockey, and baseball player, and I wanted to play 3 sports in college. I never thought about the NHL. I thought about being the first member of my family to go to college and play. I ended up at Boston University, and that's a whole other story how I ended up there. But I think for me, I never thought of the NHL until I got into college, and then playing at Boston University. I guess it's like playing football at Ohio State. You start to realize maybe I got a chance to play at the next level. So it was never something as a 10 or 12-year-old saying, I'm going to play pro hockey. That was never, an equation for me. Plus, we didn't have a television in my house till I was 10, so I didn't know anything about hockey other than playing with my friends.
Mike, what do you think prepared you for being able to hit a game-winning goal in such an important game?
Well, you know as well as I do it. It's a shot. You're out in the field playing. Those are things you do every single day. I can't tell you. I shot thousands of pucks in my life. I go in my backyard and shoot pucks against the garage and in hockey practice in general. As a matter of fact, the goal that I scored against the Soviets in the Olympics, I scored the exact same spot, the exact same goal in Madison Square Garden when we lost 10-3. I was lucky enough to be one of 3 goal scorers, but it was, it's a shot that I've taken, hundreds and hundreds of times, and I had an opportunity to have an opening to shoot, and it went in, and it gave us the lead. And, as it turns out, it was the winning goal. But, if it wasn't for Mark Johnson, we wouldn't have been in the position we were in anyway. If Mark was our best player, and he had 2 goals in that game. So, when you win games and championships, everybody's got to be a part of it. Everybody's got to contribute, and I think our team is a perfect example of that. we were the youngest team in the Olympics. Actually, our 80 Olympic team would be the youngest team in college hockey today. Our average age was 22, 21 and a half, and I was 25, and Buzz Schneider was 25. So we were young. But, those moments that you practice and practice and practice, and when the opportunity strikes, you've been there before.
I need to tap the brakes on comparing what you went through with Tyvis, because now Tyvis is going to tell me he's like Mike Eurizione, and he's not. But that's okay. I love Tyvis, but
we both are champions.
No, stop, Tyvis. Okay,
what Tito is a fact.
No, did you have any gear? Did you keep anything specific from the game against Russia or the game against Finland? Do you have anything special that you held on to memorabilia wise?
Well, I have my gold medal. I have the stick from the Finland game.
Okay.
I have the 2 rings that we got, and I have my ice skates. 10 years ago, I sold all my memorabilia. I got $1.6 million.
Wow.
Financially, things are fine for me, but what am I going to do with 2 jerseys? I'm not going to wear them around town. And all my hockey equipment was in the attic in my hockey bag, and I thought, I have my own charitable foundation, so I put money into the foundation. I work at Boston University where I played, and I endowed a scholarship in my mother and father's name at Boston University. And my 3 children use the rest of the money and have bought houses.
Do you feel like when it first happened, I know there was the player excitement, the emotion of doing that, and the time with what was going on between our 2 countries, the USA and at the time the USSR. What was going on though? And as you got further away from it, did you appreciate it more, or do you appreciate it more now than you did on, say, February 28th, 1980?
I think I appreciate it the same, which is saying I totally appreciate it in a tremendous amount. We didn't know what was going on. We didn't know it was a big deal. We were just playing hockey, and then we found out later that this was greater than a hockey game. You don't have many athletic events that touch the lives of people in a positive way, such as that moment. I mean, people come up to me all the time, depending on their age, and they'll say to me, I remember where I was when we won. And I always go, we? I didn't know you were on the team.
Mike, it's we. It's we, okay?
Yeah, that's what that moment meant. And we don't have many sporting events that when Ohio State wins a national championship, well, people in Ohio are pretty excited, but, people in, Georgia are unhappy. But when it's the Olympics and a country, it separates the events from any other events that you're ever participating in. So I appreciate it incredibly as much as I did right after. But now, you talked about the movie Miracle. I have grandkids, and they're like blown away who Papa is. 2 years ago, I opened up a store in Lake Placid. It used to be a store. They put my name on the store, and they sell, my jerseys and things like that. And 2 years ago, I brought my grandkids to Lake Placid to skate, and they were the first grandkids to skate on the Olympic ice from the 80 Olympic team. And there were TV crews there, and they were interviewing my grandson, and my grandson comes over to me after. He goes, Papa, you're really famous. And I just thought it was funny because, I'm Papa. We don't talk about the Olympics at all really in the house, although I have pictures in there until my wife tells me to take that one down and put up a family picture. I said, no, the Olympic picture is much nicer than the family picture, because if it wasn't for the Olympics, we wouldn't have a family picture. So I have a lot of fun with it, but no, I cherish that moment. Like I said, people come up to me. People start crying sometimes when they talk to me because the moment meant that much to them for whatever reason. And when you can be a part of something like that, I think you take great pride and joy in knowing that.
Mike, breaking news, by the way. I'm not going to play the sound that we have, but you're not a grandfather. So let's just stop talking. Because listen, you are still that guy. Okay, so don't make me feel older than I am. But you are still that guy. You're not a grandfather. Nonetheless, that's really cool though about that. You get that. Now, I was trying to tell my son. I was trying to give him a comparison on what that win, what that game meant. And all I could think of was telling my 8-year-old son, look, it's like if you and a bunch of your second grade friends beat a 5th grade team that was undefeated for like 2 years. And I'm sure you can ask the question, is there anything, and I can't think there is, can you make any comparison to what happened in that game against Russia? Like, can you ever think of something that could or has recreated something like that?
No, not even close. Again, like I said, it was the United States winning. You know, when our basketball team plays in the Olympic Games, we're expected to win. I think in our situation where we were such underdogs and to win at a time with the political climate against the Soviets, it's hard to put that comparison together again. So, again, yeah, I have not seen anything like it, and I hope I do, because that means we're having a great moment for everybody to watch. And we could use a 1980 right now. You know,
Yes.
1980 was at a difficult time in our country with you know, the economy and the hostages and the Soviets and the whole deal. So it was a moment that was more than a game. Like I said to you earlier, the political climate was something special, something that people remember. Although, for us it wasn't that. For us it was a hockey game with an opportunity to win an Olympic gold medal. And, you know, we're always talking about the Russian game, but if we don't beat Finland on Sunday, we're not having this conversation right now.
I don't, Mike. I think we probably are still. Do you think if you lose to Finland, you don't think it's that important still?
No, because I think it would have been, geez, if he only could have beat Finland. Hey, Mike, what a great Olympics you guys had, but if he only could have beat Finland to win the gold medal. Yeah. You're playing tournaments to win the ultimate championship. And as great as the Soviet victory was, I don't think you're calling me today and saying, hey, Mike, 45 years later, you beat the Soviets. But, geez, what happened against Finland?
Mike, how did y'all have to humble yourselves? Because obviously you talk about how this is such a big win, and to think like, all right, we still got to play another game to win it all. How did you guys?
It was 2 days later.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, how did y'all y'all celebrated that, and then y'all had to lock back in to win the whole thing? Some people can't do that. How did y'all manage y'all emotions?
Well, we beat the Soviets on a Friday night, and we go to practice Saturday morning, and we're signing pictures and sticks and autographs and laughing and joking, and Herb came in and just flipped out. Put us through one of the hardest practices we had all year. And I'm like, why is he so pissed off? We just beat the Soviets. But what he had to do was get all that excitement and all that energy out of us to make us aware of the fact that we had another game to play. And I think that's a sign of a great coach. But I said to Herb, years later, I said, Herb, we were ready to play Finland. You didn't have to skate our asses off that much that morning. A matter of fact, the team that I played on, if there was another game to play after Finland, these guys would have shown up. I mean, we just love playing. We love being together. And I think also, with all due respects to a lot of sports, that's the mindset of a hockey player. That's something you understand at a young age, how important moments are and championships are, and how important your teammates are. So I think that's the culture of a hockey team. And we were ready to play. We couldn't wait to play. And, we were losing 2-1 going into the third period. And the famous speech when Herb walked in and he said, if you lose this game, you'll take it to your bleeping grave. Then he walked to the door. He pointed his finger back at us and he said, you bleeping grave. And we went out and played the best 20 minutes of hockey I think we played all year and dominated Finland. We scored 3 goals. We win 4-2 and we win the whole thing.
Tyvis, by the way, I lied to Mike Eurizione because I told him 10 minutes. I'm not letting him go yet. And by the way, I would still call you Mike, even if you guys have lost to Finland, but that's okay. I get what you're saying. I understand that. I'm curious now. Did you and your teammates actually have like a book of things that Herb Brooks said?
Yeah, John Harrington was kind of the secretary. And when Herb would say something stupid or crazy, we'd look at Bob and he'd go, I got it. Don't worry, I got it. And he'd write it down into his little book. And I don't know where that book is. Somebody told me that John gave it to Herb after the Olympics, and he still his wife or his family has it. But, Herb would just say some things and we'd just shake our head and, write that down.
Okay, you say stupid or crazy. If Herb were still alive, would you still say stupid?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm curious about it. Okay, so Herb passed away. He obviously played a role in the creation of the movie and was like a technical advisor guy leading into all of that. Was there I'm curious how your relationship was with Herb at the end, because clearly he didn't care if you guys hated him. He wanted you guys to bond as a team. And if it comes at the expense of you guys loving Herb Brooks, he didn't care. So, you guys galvanized because of the way Herb treated you all like dogs most of the time. What was your relationship like with Herb near the end of his life? Well,
I got to see Herb quite a bit because I was broadcasting New York Ranger games, and Herb was the the coach of the New York Rangers. So I got to see the other side of Herb to some degree. But you know what? Herb was Herb. That's how coaches coached in the 70s. My high school football coach, we called him Vince Lombardi. I mean, these guys were very intense and challenged you. And that's how it was. You deal with it. What am I going to do? Quit because you yelled at me? And again, we laugh about it now. Not everybody got a trophy. This is the situation here, guys. You deal with it or you quit. Well, I'm not quitting. I want to be in this hockey team. And I think the one thing about Herb and my college hockey coach, Jack Parker, who coached for 40 years, the sign of a great coach to me is when your team trusts and respects the coach. We trusted Herb. We respected Herb. We didn't like some of the things that he challenged us with, but he's in charge. He's the coach. And from day one, Herb said to us, I'll be your coach, but I won't be your friend. And he stayed true to form. And after the Olympic Games, I remember one time I got a phone call, and this is before cell phones, and he called my house, and my wife said, it's Herb. And I'm in the other room, and here I am. I got 3 kids, and I'm panicking that he's going to yell at me. And I got on the phone, and we just talked about whatever he called me about. But, that's the kind of, the influence that he had on you. And, sometimes I say Herb was like your dad. You love your dad, but sometimes you hate your dad because he makes you do things you don't want to do. That was Herb, and that's the way it was going to be. Deal with it or quit. Well, I can deal with it. I want to be on this team.
Mike, there are some guys that say when you're 18 years old, your dad is so dumb, and when you're 21, you can't believe how much that guy learned in 3 years. And so that's what it feels like here is that relationship's like. I appreciate that. Mike, I know you are so crazy busy. I truly appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. The people in Columbus, I'm sure, do, and appreciate the fact you wore Johnny Hockey's jersey out there at the Four Nations tournament. And I hope we get a chance to talk again soon. And thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you very much, and congratulations. Obviously, Ohio State football seems like it's back. Not that it ever left, not that it ever went anywhere, but I know the Ohio State hockey program, men's and women, are doing awfully well now, so that's a good thing.
Be careful, Mike. We're going to have you out here for some event out here. We're going to do it now. Now you said Ohio State people are listening. Don't be surprised to get a phone call. Thanks, brother. Have a great day.
All right. Thanks for having me, guys. Be safe. Take care.
You bet. That was Mike Eurizione. If you don't know who he is, you should. If you do know who he is, you should appreciate that. And Tyvis, you're not the same. Okay, so don't do it.
What do you mean?
No, you know exactly what I mean.
No, I don't know.
The T in Tyvis stands for Tin Man because he doesn't believe I cried. Coming up next, the CBJ get a big win and they returned to the ice last night. We'll talk about that. This is Fan Sports Sunday on the Fan.
Whatever you're doing right now, just know that Bo Bishop is enjoying a sip of bourbon, even if this promo is playing in the morning. No judgment.
Ah, sweet morning drinking.
The Fan.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
Next on Metro's Nada Yada Island podcast.
I almost fainted when the 4 new bombshells arrived. 4 free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G phones at Metro.
No way.
And finding out the 4th line is free. Oh, things got heated.
That's wild. Join Metro and get 4 free Samsung 5G phones. Only at Metro.
Plus tax. Bring 4 numbers and an ID and sign up for any Metro Flex plan. Not available currently at T-Mobile or been with Metro in the past 180 days.
Life. It's full of strange twists and unexpected surprises. But at AAA, it's always been our policy to look on the plus side. And our AAA Plus members tend to take the same view. Take Martin, for example. Last Monday, his morning coffee surprised him with an extra 10 degrees of Fahrenheit. Ouch! It was just the jolt of energy he needed to start the day. Later, when his shirt was targeted by the mustard on his burger, he became a proud trendsetter.
Martin, looking good.
And when he walked face first into a sparkling glass door, he was happy to provide some much-needed entertainment for his coworkers.
I'm okay.
And of course, when his car battery took early retirement, Martin felt no resentment. He knew there was a plus side. AAA's expert roadside assistance was only a call away.
Hello, AAA. Are you in a safe location?
While we can't all be like Martin, we can become a AAA Plus member and experience the peace of mind that comes with living on the plus side. Towing is subject to a 7-day waiting period. Terms and conditions apply.
This year, we considered hiring an ad agency to help with our marketing.
They pitched impressive visuals and a script that was inspiring.
And exotic animal mascots to help grab your attention.
In the end, we just decided to tell it to you straight. Shelter Insurance has award-winning customer service at affordable rates.
Plus, our local agents are there to help you understand what coverage you need.
To find an agent near you, visit shelterinsurance.com and switch today.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Aaron, I've been thinking.
About what?
About how you invented a way to fix ACs for free.
Get Eco.
ECO.
When customers buy a new HVAC system, we give back all the money they paid us to repair their old system.
Yeah, I know. Up to $1,500.
Get Eco.
ECO.
We're basically extending the life of their old system for free.
That's right. Those extra years are free. On me.
Don't you think it would be better if we said those extra years are a plus on us?
Sure. We can say that if you want.
I think it would be better.
Get Eco.
ECO.
We don't want people to forget that you have a silent partner.
Remind me, how did we become partners?
Aaron, we became partners when you let me move into your spare office and I began giving you free advice instead of paying rent.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Oh, yeah. Now I remember. Best deal I ever made.
I feel that way too.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Eco. Plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians. GetEco.com.
The Fan app is about to become your new best friend. Your one-stop shop for all your favorite fan shows. ESPN Columbus and BetQL. Live or on demand. Listen on your schedule. Download the 97.1 The Fan app today. It's free. Do it.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals with savings beyond low prices. Like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
You can save big on 12 packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or 7-Up. Right now, select varieties are buy 2, get 2 free with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Ready to hit the road in a new car? With Pathways, enjoy up to 90 days with no payments and low auto loan rates. Learn more at pathwayscu.com. Pathways Financial Credit Union, your true financial partner. Federally insured by NCUA.
Master Grillers Unite. The grilling season never ends at Billiards Plus. Come see their best-in-class grills for yourself and check out Central Ohio's largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard. Family-owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. And everybody's had these pains, these little nicks, these things that you maybe had an injury when you were younger and you thought it went away. And then all of a sudden, as you get older, it starts to creep back. Doing everything, walking up the stairs, doing your favorite activities, golf, skiing, whatever it might be, the summer, the spring, the winter, it hurts. Hey, do not deal with it any longer. The hip, the knee, the shoulder, the back, whatever it is, there's good news. Go to QC Kinetics. They're groundbreaking treatments for that arthritis pain. They're going to make you feel better. The long-term relief, it's now possible. They're right here in Columbus under the leadership of Dr. Ray Tesner, founder of Grant Sport Medicine and a classically trained orthopedic surgeon. Don't wait. Make the call today. My dad and I did. His knee's starting to feel better. My knee feels better. They've got PRP treatments. They can change your life. I'm telling you right now. So go to qckinetics.com/Columbus for your free consultation or give them a call at 380-208-4544. It's not going to go away on its own. They've got 2 offices in Dublin and Gahanna, so check them out.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Time now to get a look at your weather for today. Lots of sunshine. It'll feel like a heat wave. Today's high around 40. Tonight we drop on down to 28. Monday, partly cloudy with a high of 49. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
An encyclopedic knowledge of sports and other random things you may or may not care about.
I think I found my mentor.
Rockman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan. We firmly believe it's appropriate to tailgate before a youth soccer game. You're listening to Fan Sports Sunday.
Fan Sports Sunday. Can't tell you how pumped I was to have Mike Eurizione on. And no offense to you, Tyvis, but they never made a movie about the 2014 team, but they did make it.
They should, though.
Okay, whatever.
You know what? It will happen.
I'm sure. And you will fund it, or Cardale will fund it. Somebody who's...
You know what? Let's see.
Zeke.
Mike had a great contract in the NFL. Zeke had a great contract, and Joey. I feel like if those 3 guys, Taylor Decker didn't hit it a couple of times.
Right.
Listen, if those 4 guys fund it, we can all come to the
You're
set.
so good at spending other people's money. What do you got there, Jake?
There isn't like a documentary or so, like a Big 10 and 60 already made.
First of all, Big 10 and 60 is a lot different than Miracle being released across the country.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just saying.
This should be a Disney movie.
But like they have something about like the game of the century in 2006 with with Troy Smith and all that.
Yeah, but I want Denzel Washington to play me like that.
No, it's not. Listen, not Denzel. I've told you before. Michael B. Jordan will play you.
Well, if anybody going to play me, it's going to be my father. And
it better be Michael B. Jordan, but he's got to gain some weight. And I'm not talking about muscle. He's got to put on some LPs.
Well, this is college days, and I was a toothpick.
It's not the liquid gain. It's like the pizza and like the Chipotle gain is what you need on Michael B. Jordan. I'm not sure if he'll do it. Jackets won. No offense.
Opportunity to play the MVP? Why wouldn't he?
Look, I'm not going to do this with you right now. I love you too much to have this fight.
Go ahead about the Jackets.
No, it's okay. The Jackets won 5-1 last night in their first game after the Four Nations tournament. Great job. I love to have Mike Eurizione on last segment talking about things. And the fact he was out there with the Johnny hockey jersey was fantastic. Goudreau's dad was out there skating with the team and like some practice stuff, which was awesome. And the Jackets get this win. They've got the Stadium Series game coming up against Detroit. It's very important based on
seeding.
Yeah, based on where they're at right now, because the Jackets right now are behind Detroit and Ottawa in the standings for the wild card. The same amount of points, but just they've played more games than the other two teams have. I think Ottawa's got more regulation wins, which put them above the Jackets as well. Anyway, there's talk Seth Jones might be interested in coming back to the Jackets, and Zach Werenski might be interested in having Seth Jones come back to the Jackets. I think that would be...
You think you would take him back? Didn't he ask to be traded? He
asked to be traded.
Okay.
And now he's in like the third year of like this contract that pays him like $9.5 million. He's very expensive.
So you take him back?
He has not been as good in Chicago as he was here.
Well, who has been? This is a good lesson. Sometimes this reminds me of when I played football and I was on practice squad, and I'd be like, why am I still sitting here? Like, I should be on the 53. And then my agent said, well, you could not have a job at all. And
right.
When you sitting at home, you be sitting there like, man, I wish I would have just stayed on that practice squad. Same thing for him. He could have been with the Blue Jackets, and and obviously things weren't going great. And now he went to a worse situation, and now he's like, I should have just kept my mouth closed.
If you take the money out of it, if you told me, if I had no idea what Seth Jones was making, I just knew he was in Chicago and wanted to play for Columbus again, I would say, yep, let's do it. The money part, though.
The money always.
I don't want to know. I know. I don't want to know that part, though, because if I didn't know that part, I would say, yeah, I'd love to have Seth Jones.
You want it out.
Yes,
you take
because
him back.
He and Werenski were so good together.
You know what? I don't even know who you are.
No, you do know who I am.
If you were dating a young gal and she said back in your day, and she said, I want out of this relationship.
Right.
And you gave her that satisfaction. And then a couple of years later, she said, I want to come back. You take her right back.
Dude, it's happened. All right, coming up next, we're being back in 2 minutes. Mekka Don's going to join us. Buckle up, folks. This is Fan Sports Sunday on the Fan.
It's been a great run. Care Heating and Cooling has achieved goals I could only imagine 30 years ago. But now it's time for the next generation to take over. This is Mike Weens, now the retired founder of Care Heating and Cooling with my sons, Dennis and Ryan.
Dad, I remember you saying that a family business should reflect family values, that a customer deserves to be treated with kindness and compassion.
And those values will never change. The reputation you built for being fair and honest is our greatest asset.
In fact, in 2024, Care was awarded a BBB Torch Award for ethics and named the Lennox Partner of the Year.
You don't earn those awards by leaving cat toys behind. It's an honor to continue serving Central Ohio as a locally owned, family-run business.
So, whether you need a tune-up, repair, or just honest advice, Care is here for you.
Call Care Heating and Cooling at 1-800-COOLING or schedule an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com. When you need a company you can trust.
There's a place where mishaps don't mean missing out. Welcome to AAA's The Plus Side, where a AAA Plus membership means that an empty gas tank won't keep you from a full day, where a flat tire doesn't have to deflate your mood, where being locked out doesn't mean you'll be out of luck for long, and where a dead battery can't stop you from being the life of the party.
Looks like you're all set here. Have a good rest of the day.
Because on the plus side, roadside mishaps don't have to ruin your day. With AAA Plus, you're covered with the gold standard in roadside assistance, whenever and wherever you need it. Tire changes, battery swaps, and emergency fuel are just a tap, click, or call away. AAA gets to you faster, and if you need a tow, we'll take you further, anywhere within 100 miles. Become a AAA Plus member today and experience the peace of mind that comes when you live on the plus side. Towing is subject to a 7-day waiting period. Terms and conditions apply. Service is only available from AAA and CAA in North America.
News, opinions, and insight, all before breakfast. Rise and shine with Morning Juice.
Weekdays starting at 6.
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination. These guys are at work, so you don't have to be. You're listening to Fan Sports Sunday.
All right, it's Fan Sports Sunday. I'm Tito. Tyvis to my right. We are now joined on the Brian Heating Cooling System Fan Guest Hotline. Our good friend Mekka Don joins us. Buckle up with Mekka Don. The documentary is going to come out later on this year. Mekka, do you know what the T stands for in Tyvis?
Title.
It stands for
championship.
No.
Tyvis.
Thank you.
No?
It stands for 31. My man is well into his 30s now. That's what the T stands for.
Well into my 30s.
I'm just saying, you're well into your 30s, Tyvis. Mekka, this we are out of obviously the football season, although there's never really an off season in football, Mekka, and we are talking more about the Ohio State basketball season now. And I was somebody who was extremely excited about a week ago about this basketball team.
Yeah.
And, I looked things up, and I looked at the fact that Ohio State was the winning percentage for Diebler in the time he took over to now was better than Holtman's lifetime percentage here at Ohio State. Actually better than anybody really, except for like Thad Matta. He had a better winning percentage than Eldon Miller, than Randy Ayers, than Jim O'Brien, than Gary Williams. All these different guys. I was all excited about that. Then they laid that egg against Northwestern, and it was depressing to me to see that happen. I'm curious your thoughts on where the basketball team's at now.
Well, we had this conversation last week on the show, and it was a much different conversation. I think it was a little bit before the game against the team up north. We had just come off like smacking Washington by like almost 40 points, I think, a couple of days before that. And then, even though we lost to Michigan, it was like, okay, there's still hope. We go to the Northwestern game and lose by 21, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just, I don't know, it was so deflating because I had a lot of hope last week. And now, you lose a game like that. You have 4 games left in the season. We probably have to win out to even give ourselves a chance to make the tournament. And it just sucks to see that type of effort, with a team that's been, kind of getting hot a little bit lately.
Mekka, let me take you to the football aspect of things. I know you've been seeing lately that, some teams are starting to cancel spring games. What is your thoughts on that, and how important is the spring game, do you think?
So, there is a balance here. This is such a good discussion because it goes even deeper than the spring game. It is really about the business of this thing and understanding the needs and desires and of the fans, right? And I think the spring game, the reason why the spring game was really always such a big deal, probably in every community, was because it was, well, first of all, it was football in the spring, right, which we're craving football. But also, it was the cheap, sometimes free, and then, or $5, $10, whatever, a way for a lot of fans who can't afford the exorbitant ticket prices during the season. It was a way to get them to be able to come and see the team and have the kind of game day experience inside the Horseshoe. So from that perspective, it was just magical. But it's kind of like, I feel like what's happening across all sports is, the risk of injury, maybe the business side of things, maybe it costs more to put on than you make. I'm not sure exactly the economics behind it, but it's the same thing we're seeing in the NBA, kind of at the All-Star game. Like, a lot of things are not a lot of exhibition type games are, even the NFL, they're going to shorten the preseason. Like, those things are going to go away over time, because at the end of the day, the focus on winning during the season, having a healthy team during the season, and then the business, the little economics around things is going to rule the day. And it's kind of sad to see that happening, honestly.
Mekka Don joining us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. He has got the Buckle Up documentary he's working on. I got to believe it's a ton of work putting that together. I know, look, I don't know when you decided or when it was decided to do this, but
yeah,
it's got to be like a ton of effort on your part to get this thing out.
Yeah, it is a lot of effort. So we, interestingly enough, man, just, over life, you have enough experiences where hopefully you learn not to make the same mistakes. And so I realized before the season even started that I needed to document this journey because I felt that it was going to be special. I mean, I had video from me even in the studio when I was recording the song and why I was recording the song. This is in May of last year, way before it was even recorded or put out. And, we documented pretty much the whole season, everything that happened. And, I had a camera crew follow me around pretty much the whole season. And, for me, I wanted to document it personally because I thought it was just, a great thing for my own personal story. But as the season started to unfold and we started moving to the playoffs, I was like, oh my gosh, if we win this thing, now this thing goes from just a kind of a cool kind of local Mekka Don story for my fans and something that kind of moves into pop culture. This is now a pop culture story, right? The intersection of sports and music, how this type of thing happened, the Buckle Up whole movement and the merchandise and all this, it becomes something bigger than that. So, yes, there's a ton of footage that we have. You're talking about 6 months of footage that we're going to try to condense into 30 minutes. And so, yeah, it's a lot of work, but it's also great because it's, I'm getting to relive a lot of these moments and, you forget about all the things that you've done. And Tyvis, I'm sure this happened to you before. You go back and you look at something on the 2014 season, you're like, oh my God, I forgot about that. And oh my God, I forgot about that. So it's so amazing to have it documented even just for that reason.
So what are you, every time you've dropped a song, we've won the championship. So that means that you're in
a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I was about to say, so when is the third song coming out?
That'll be 2025.
This is crazy. So for the record, I have dropped other Buckeye songs, but the two biggest ones for sure were Juice and Buckle Up. And now I'm feeling like, God, Lee, I don't know. I don't know if I want to do it or if I don't want to do it. Because if I do it and it doesn't hit, then I'm like, okay, maybe I struck out there. But I don't know, man. I think as an artist, and I tell people this a lot, like, no matter what it is, I got to really feel it. I don't just do it just to do it. Like, and that was the thing about Buckle Up. I really, really felt like this season was going to be special. I really did. It's been probably 8 to 10 years since I've written a Buckeye song. And, and obviously we didn't win in any of those years. So I really, really felt like it was going to be special. So if I get that feeling again, who knows what can happen.
So, Mekka, just so you know, I'll say this first to make sure it's out there in the public. If you need to cut into the documentary, DeVere said it's okay to cut him as long as there's more Tito on it. Just so you know, DeVere's okay with that. Don't ask him, but he said that. But I got to say, it was like when you start doing this, if Ohio State, it's a great song. It's a great track. All those things are wonderful. And you got a lot of play in the stadium, which is all great. So that part doesn't change. But if they don't win the championship, it's not as prominent, I'm guessing, for a documentary. So, like, 100%. You take a risk, right? You take a risk and say, let's film this now, knowing 100%. It might not be what it was, right?
100%. And that's what I also tell people, like, I took a risk, not just in making the song, but this Buckle Up was a predictive song. It was, buckle up, we're going for a ride, we're going to the top, our time is now, I can see the future. These are literally the things I'm saying in the song. Like, we're going on a run now. Like, so if we don't do that, I mean, that's not a song that you can really run. You can run back. That's a song that's really about this season. It's not just a general Go Bucks song. So I realized that at the time, that, there's a risk in doing that. But I think that sometimes you got to just, put your things on the table, and say, listen, this is what I believe, this is what I feel, and I'm willing to put it out there. And so it really, really worked out. And I think that in a lot of ways it's a testament. I feel like my story and the story of the team, obviously running parallels, like just a testament of faith, right, and belief. And, and Buckle Up always meant, listen, we're going for a ride. The ride is going to be bumpy. That doesn't mean it's going to be smooth. There's going to be turbulence. You're going to get shaken along the way. It's not necessarily going to be smooth, and that's part of the reason why we do Buckle Up. So I feel like it really, like, even the way the season shook out really also mirrored kind of the messaging in the song as well.
If I can make a suggestion before we get you out of here, at Mekka Don Music, by the way. Why are you laughing, Tyvis?
Because you give it a suggestion. Let's hear it.
Okay, at Mekka Don Music, where you can find him.
Okay, what's the suggestion?
Here's my suggestion. And Mekka, you don't have to answer now. Just think about it, though. Let it sink in. I think the next anthem should be something like Tito Gets a Millie. And if you do that, and I'm just saying, listen, if you just say, if you don't appreciate his Riz, you're sus. Something like that in the song.
You don't even know what that means.
I do know what it means. They're saying, if I drip Riz and you don't like it, you're sus.
Their young people terminology.
I'm just telling you.
It means.
Just a thought, Mekka.
Well, listen, let me tell you something. I will say this. I did miss out probably on a lot of money by betting on my own predictions, right? And so maybe I do need to put something in the air like that. And if you get that millie, how much do I get? What's my cut?
You can have as much. Look, I'll take $100 out of it. You have the rest. I don't care. Anything I get is positive. But I don't think Tito Gets a Hundy is as impressive as Tito Gets a millie.
No. Tito Gets a millie sounds a lot better.
There we go.
And Tyvis, I might have to throw you in there too. I know you're not hurting for money, but I might throw you in there too, man, just to add a little sauce to it.
You know, I might not be hurting, but I'll always take a little. You know what I'm saying?
Tyvis comes in here. Listen, when I walk into the studio, if a quarter drops out of my pocket, I pick it up. Okay, Tyvis drops a Benjamin, and he walks right by.
I got to ask real quick before I go. Real quick, Tyvis, what are your thoughts on the spring game thing? Because I know, obviously, you played in it. You've had experience with this. What are your thoughts on it real quick?
I mean, the spring game, to me, I understand why, some colleges want to get rid of it. I think that it is for the younger players. I think it's all about how the coaching staff do it. I think how we did it in 2015 was perfect. You had the starters come out there, guys that's played 1,000 reps or 1,000 snaps the season before. They get out there, they get maybe 1 or 2 series, and then boom, you put the 2s and the 3s and the young guys in there because you really are using that time to get them in the stadium in front of 100,000 fans or however many comes out there to get them in a game-like atmosphere because it's hard to do that over at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center. But when you got those fans there, you tend to play a tad bit harder and you get those emotions. So I think it's always good for the younger guys. Listen, the fans understand, we're not going to see Jeremiah Smith for an entire spring game. That's never been the case. But we do want to see the Mylan Grahams. We do want to see the Brandon Ennis's or those guys like that we haven't got a chance to see. Just let us see what they look like, and let's see what those guys, especially like those boosters that's spending money to get these recruiting classes, let them see what those freshmen look like so we can see all right, that kid's going to be good in a year or two. When he's up there, we seen him in the spring game. Let's see what we know what we can expect from him when we see him jog out there on the field. So those are the things that I like about the spring game. It's not necessarily always about the starters.
Right. That's a great point. Great point.
Mekka, thanks so much, brother. We'll talk again next week, okay?
All right, guys. Have a good one.
Thanks, man. Buckle up with Mekka Don there. I love talking to him. You think the Tito Gets a millie thing is going to – you think
you got to – for some odd reason, when I hear that, I think about Lil Wayne.
I know Lil Wayne, a millie. I get
it's copyrighted, though.
It's not – I promise you, Lil Wayne never said – I'm sorry. Lil Wayne never said. By the way, Tyvis, I'm going to say this before we go to break.
You got to say it like that.
Listen, I don't think we talked about this. Oldest white guy moment I've ever had. Okay, Super Bowl halftime show, right?
Oh, this year?
Yes.
With Kendrick Lamar?
Yes, Kendrick Lamar, how they're doing it. They show a young lady. Don't say her name. I'm going to tell you what happened here. I'm watching it with other old white people. Not as old as me, but old. We're watching it. Who's that? I said, oh, it might be Lil' Kim. I started looking at stuff. Wait, listen. Tyvis, don't laugh yet. This gets worse. But wait, it gets worse. So I look it up. I see who it is. I say to my friends, this is somebody named SZA. And my one buddy says, no, that's not. I said, what? It says SCA. No, SZA.
Yeah.
Okay, I called her SZA. Like literally, I said, I think this is SZA. And my guy says, no, you can't say that. It's SZA.
That's a shame. But yet here you are trying to talk about Riz and drip and all that stuff. But you don't even know who SZA is.
I know who SZA is.
It's SZA.
Whatever it is. Maybe you're on the familiar thing.
You're going to put some respect on her name.
I did. I spelled it correctly. She's SCA.
Come on, let's go. Come on, let's
go to a break. Coming up next, let's talk to Reimer. We'll talk college hoops next. This is Fan Sports Sunday on the Fan.
If you miss a live show, you can catch the podcast. If you miss the podcast, our hosts have volunteered to have dinner with you.
Ma, the meatloaf!
The Fan.
Bo Bishop here. High Bank Distillery Co. is the most awarded distillery in America at the 2024 San Francisco World Spirits Competition. Stop by your local liquor store to grab a bottle, or the 3 restaurant locations in Gahanna, Grandview, or Westerville. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
Back in the studio with a return visit from
Todd Schmelt.
Todd, the last time you were with us, you claimed to be
the dumbest person in Columbus.
You're being really hard on yourself.
Not in the least. You know what I got?
I hate to ask.
One of them thermostats with the dial and the needle. Woo, woo, woo.
Maybe that's not modern, but not...
What am I? Eli Whitney, Elias Howe, Johann Gertis?
I don't know who those people are.
Those are old-timey people from the 19th century, and that's me. Outdated, like my silly old thermostat.
Okay, look, you're not the dumbest guy in Columbus. You just haven't called Apex pros.
The pros who knows?
Those guys. Whether it's the latest technology, fixing your furnace, or a brand new system, they know all the stuff so you don't have to.
I don't have to know it all?
Nah, you just have to know the pros who knows.
Apex Pros. I'm not the dumbest guy in Columbus.
I didn't even know who Johann Gertis was.
Inventor of the gas-powered unicycle. Look it up, doy.
Okay, you don't have to be mean.
No doubt about it. Columbus loves Apex Pros. The pros who knows. ApexPros.com.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. And everybody's had these pains, these little nicks, these things that you maybe had an injury when you were younger and you thought it went away. And then all of a sudden, as you get old, it starts to creep back. Doing everything, walking up the stairs, doing your favorite activities, golf, skiing, whatever it might be, the summer, the spring, the winter, it hurts. Hey, do not deal with it any longer. The hip, the knee, the shoulder, the back, whatever it is, there's good news. Go to QC Kinetics. They're groundbreaking treatments for that arthritis pain. They're going to make you feel better. The long-term relief, it's now possible. They're right here in Columbus under the leadership of Dr. Ray Tesner, founder of Grant Sport Medicine and a classically trained orthopedic surgeon. Don't wait. Make the call today. My dad and I did. His knee's starting to feel better. My knee feels better. They've got PRP treatments. They can change your life. I'm telling you right now. So go to qckinetics.com/Columbus for your free consultation or give them a call at 380-228-4544. It's not going to go away on its own. They've got 2 offices in Dublin and Gahanna, so check them out.
Listen to Financially Fit Radio with Corey Sickles this Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN, covering topics like what you need to know about annuities and how to stay healthy and enjoy retirement. Financially Fit Radio this Saturday at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
ESPN Bet is the official sports book of Common Man and T-Bone. Do your banging in person at Hollywood Casino Columbus or download ESPN Bet on your phone. You never know when the 2 dummies will show up. The Fan.
Winter's here, and as the snow begins to pile up outside, you might find yourself dreaming of warmer days, sunshine, barbecues, fishing, maybe even thinking about those home projects you've been putting off for forever. Why wait for spring to start planning? Now's the perfect time to get ahead. With so many roofing, gutter, and siding companies out there, it can feel overwhelming to know where to begin. With over 30 years of experience and a focus on every detail, Newman Roofing makes it simple. As a family-owned business, they're dedicated to delivering an outstanding customer experience from your first phone call all the way through to the final touches on your home. When it comes to roofing, gutters, and siding, trust the name that's been a local favorite for decades, Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF. 614-NEW-ROOF, or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Life. It's full of strange twists and unexpected surprises. But at AAA, it's always been our policy to look on the plus side. And our AAA Plus members tend to take the same view. Take Martin, for example. Last Monday, his morning coffee surprised him with an extra 10 degrees of Fahrenheit. Ouch! It was just the jolt of energy he needed to start the day. Later, when his shirt was targeted by the mustard on his burger, he became a proud trendsetter.
Martin, looking good.
And when he walked face first into a sparkling glass door, he was happy to provide some much-needed entertainment for his coworkers.
I'm okay.
And of course, when his car battery took early retirement, Martin felt no resentment. He knew there was a plus side. AAA's expert roadside assistance was only a call away.
Hello, AAA. Are you in a safe location?
While we can't all be like Martin, we can become a AAA Plus member and experience the peace of mind that comes with living on the plus side. Towing is subject to a 7-day waiting period. Terms and conditions apply.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Ohio Heating and Bryant. Doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Instead of annoying national people talking to you this weekend, we've opted for annoying local people. This is Fan Sports Sunday.
Oh, we got a problem, Tyvis.
What's that?
Panda Man.
Panda Man.
Tito trying to rap is an embarrassment to all rappers.
Did you try to rap?
Well, I did say some things that are rap related. They were rap adjacent, is what they were.
Yeah, the thing about life is sometimes you got to just stay in your lane.
Listen to me. No, that right there, what you just said, and I don't want to get you in trouble, it's racist.
To stay in your lane?
Yeah, no, to say to me about rapping.
That's not true. How's that racist?
Listen,
there's plenty of Caucasian rappers.
First of all, to say Caucasian is also racist. Just say rappers. I'm not Eminem. I'm not Vanilla Iso either. Okay? I know.
You could be Lil Dicky.
Now, that right there, I have no idea who that is.
That really?
Little Dicky? There's a Little Dicky rapper?
He got a whole show.
Little Dicky?
Do you know the song Freaky Friday with Usher? And
you ain't never seen
by the way,
Lil Dicky show on Hulu.
Listen, the fact that a man called me Little Dicky on the air is also offensive.
That's his name.
But that's fine. That's okay. That's okay. I can say NWA's rap lyrics won't go over well here.
No, you can't do that.
I know I can't.
You can't even tell me what it stands for.
It stands. By the way, I had a group. No, I'm not going to. Okay, listen. As a joke, in high school, I was part of HWA. It was honkies with attitudes.
I knew that's where you were
that's
going
what it was.
with this.
So that's all we're going to do there. We're too close now. We can't even do this break now. Ryan said we'll talk to you. We'll talk to you in the next segment, okay? Let's do this. Let's go to a break. Ryan, we got a Sports Center update coming up. Fantastic. That'll be perfect then. Coming up next, we've called Everything's Happened. What will happen this weekend? That is next. It is Tito the Rapper and 31-year-old Tyvis right here on The Fan.
The Big Nine was a sad, incomplete place. Enter Ohio State. The rest is history. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Aaron, look what I invented.
Jerry, you're wearing a cape.
Get Eco.
ECO.
What is it that you promise our customers, Aaron?
We come through for you when you need us to.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Do you know who does that, Aaron?
We do?
Superheroes do that, Aaron. Superheroes!
I'm guessing you make capes for everyone?
That's right. Every plumber, electrician, and HVAC technician. But I'm not done, Aaron. I'm not done.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Now I'm inventing jetpacks so we can fly to the rescue like proper superheroes. Now say your line again.
We come through for you when you need us to?
No, say it like this. We come through for you when you need us to.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Jerry.
Yeah, Aaron?
How about we put those capes in the closet until you get the jetpacks perfected?
We'll look right when we take flight.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Eco. Plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians. GetEco.com.
Listen to Financially Fit Radio with Corey Sickles this Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN, covering topics like what you need to know about annuities and how to stay healthy and enjoy retirement. Financially Fit Radio this Saturday at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN. For the Blue Jackets, the the magic happens on the ice. But for Blue Jackets fans looking for an amazing getaway, the real Florida magic is here in Central Florida's Polk County. From the natural beauty of Bok Tower Gardens to the all-ages fun at Legoland Florida Resort to the chance to do some luxurious glamping on a working dude ranch, it's all here. Even better, it's all just minutes from other area theme parks too. Discover everything we offer and plan your trip to see the real Florida at visitcentralflorida.com today.
It's a different world today than it was 30 years ago when I started Care Heating and Cooling. This is Mike Weens, now the retired founder of Care Heating and Cooling with my sons, Dennis and Ryan.
Dad, 30 years ago, you were the first to warn of companies using service technicians as salespeople, of abusing the trust that a service technician has. With the big conglomerates now buying companies all over Central Ohio, this has become the normal business model.
It's all about greed. The conglomerates know they can make a lot more money by incentivizing their technicians to sell furnaces instead of fixing them. They train their techs to take advantage of a customer when they are the most vulnerable.
Dad, that is not how we were taught. In 2024, Care Heating and Cooling was awarded a BBB Torch Award for ethics and was named the Lennox Partner of the Year. You don't earn those awards by leaving cat toys behind.
Call Care Heating and Cooling at 1-800-COOLING or schedule an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com. When you need a company you can trust.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
And I'm Jacob Reimer. We've got some Buckeye hoops this afternoon. The Ohio State basketball team looked to avoid dropping 3 in a row as they begin their West Coast trip, starting with a matchup against UCLA. Both teams are coming off some rough home losses. Ohio State falling to Northwestern by 21, and UCLA dropping to Minnesota in a game they led by as many as 17. Coverage can be found right here on The Fan, starting at 2:45 with tip-off from Pauley Pavilion at 3:45. UCLA will also be honoring the late, great Bill Walton during the game today. Walton was a Bruins legend who passed away back on May 28th at the age of 71 after a prolonged battle with cancer. The Ohio State women's basketball team is currently taking on Purdue. After one half of play, they lead the Boilermakers 55-26. The second half is beginning here shortly over on 1460 ESPN Columbus. And tonight, the Cavs are at home taking on the Grizzlies. They get things tipped off at 7 o'clock. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
You're listening to Ryan Day's favorite radio show on The Fan in this time slot on a Sunday. This is Fan Sports Sunday.
All right, Tito. 31-year-old Tyvis next to me. Jacob on the other side of the glass there. Jackets win last night 5-1. Crew win, also win over Chicago. So 4-2 over Chicago. So a double dose of that last night with the Columbus teams being Chicago teams. The Reds win. We have the Reds coverage now here on The Fan, if you have not heard.
Were you excited about that?
I really am.
No, that they beat the Guardians?
I'm excited about having the Reds coverage here. They won 2 games yesterday. They had the split squad thing. One of the squads beat the Guardians, one beat the Brewers. Ellie De La Cruz,
yeah,
his first at bat was a left-handed home run.
Look at that.
His second at bat was a right-handed home run. That's a hell of a way to start the season.
Here I was watching the beginning of the Guardians one, and I was watching, Hunter Green was on the mound for them, and Lane Thomas hit the first pitch, 2-run home run. And then Hunter Green goes out to get 3 strikeouts, and they ended up cruising past the Guardians. But it was just nice to see, because I'm weird because I actually can sit down and watch baseball.
You can watch a whole game?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know a lot of fans, a lot of people can't.
Right.
I'm one of the ones, because I like baseball is one of my second favorite sports. Everybody thinks it's basketball. Technically, it was football and baseball.
All right.
If I didn't play football, I would have played baseball. That's where I was.
All right.
But just sitting there watching, I love to watch the defense, like last year.
The strategy of all that, yes.
Yeah, just last year, watching the stuff Jimenez would do for the Guardians. I used to be like, man, this dude is ridiculous. Some of the plays that they make, and then obviously, you get late into some of those games. the game comes alive in the 8th and the 9th innings, where you see those rallies, comebacks, and stuff like that. Like I live for stuff like that. Like that's it. So I have no problem sitting down watching the game. But yeah, it was nice to just see some of those guys pitching, some of those guys hitting. Obviously, I know this is a red station. We know that.
You speak Guardian station.
But I still support my Guardians, and it was nice to see Tristan McKenzie back out there and Logan Allen and stuff like that. See some of these younger guys pitching and stuff like that. Nobody was lights out at all, but it was just good to see where they were.
Reimer gets the mic from his face. I hope he's going to say something good about the Reds and not get all about your Guardians stuff. Go ahead.
Start the MVP campaign now for Ellie.
Yes, thank you for that. Yes.
That, by the way, that first home run was on a breaking ball.
That's amazing. It's what he had issues with in the past.
Mm-hmm. That's a great sign.
Yeah, it is.
It's a fantastic sign.
Ellie is like one of the must-see TV guys in baseball. Like any given day, he can do something that just will make you spill your drink on your lady.
I tell you, somebody's got a lot of.
I've never heard that one before. Oh my goodness!
You ain't never seen
right
something
there. Somebody's flexing too much Riz. Awesome IGR says, Tito says Little Wayne. I corrected myself. Awesome Wayne. IGR. I said Lil Wayne the second time. I know first I said Little, but that's Radio Guy. Radio Guy's being completely like just.
Wait a minute. People call it Little Wayne. Lil Wayne.
He's Lil Wayne. I understand. I said Little Wayne. I get that. Panda Man says, don't get me wrong, there are some great white rappers. I'm saying you're trying too hard and not impressing. And I feel like I am. Like I told him, I think I've got flavor for days. But that's just me. So Purdue and Ohio State women playing right now over at the Shot. Ohio State women back on track, up 68-29.
Oh.
So what, by the way, Jacob, we got a text you sent in from one of our producers, right?
Yeah, my guy Cam Taylor, he said, tell Tito to put some respect on Dave Bird's name.
And that's
Lil Dicky.
Lil Dicky.
Okay.
Can't believe you never seen Dave.
I don't think I've seen Little Dicky anywhere. And I think I would have remembered that.
You gotta
But
go.
I mentioned you guys Kwame, and you both acted like you thought Kwame Brown is what you said to me. No, Kwame the rapper.
I mean, think about it. When the first time you hear Kwame.
Well, it's 1987.
No, I'm saying, if you ask anybody, just a random person, Kwame, what's the first person that's come to mind?
That's mine.
Kwame Brown.
No, it's not Kwame Brown.
Yes, it is.
I want both of you guys the next break to look up Kwame. He had a great song called The Rhythm. Okay?
Let me
tell you one of the sides. Listen, this is one of the lines. You ready? Is this Christmas? Because everybody's rapping. It's a great line. Love it.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
I got the song.
I think my name is Kwame.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Kit Kat Club is proud to present something new, something different. Yeah. So would you please give a warm welcome for the rhythm?
The rhythm.
Well, I came here for something funky
to happen. Is this Christmas? Because everybody's rapping. That's what I'm talking about. I'm telling you, you talk about Little Dicky all you want. Kwame is the guy. Okay, let me ask both of you guys this too, before we get into some college basketball talk. If I ask you, and if I ask other people, when was the best music made?
90s. 90s R&B.
2016.
Okay. Would most people's answers be when they were from like the ages of 13 to 18? Would your answer be, if I said
when I was 13,
no, like the best music in your life, the best like time for music in your life?
When I was 13 to 18.
When you were 13 to 18, somewhere in there, would you say that was probably the best music?
It was some really good music.
Okay, how about you there, Rhyme Time? Would that be your range? I'm thinking me too.
I was 16 in 2016,
okay.
and that was the best for me. Yeah,
really good.
Like
music.
if you're listening to the radio. I said turn, which shows you how old I am. The fact that I'm still doing this on YouTube, I'm actually physically turning a dial, which no one does anymore. But
it's still a knob.
Let's just press a button. I know there's a knob, but we don't use it. You're pressing buttons.
I use the knob when you're trying to.
No, that's fine. I may as well do this.
I just have Apple CarPlay. I mean,
okay, that's fine.
I play my own music.
Saying, do you think most people are like that? Where if you say to most people, what's your best, like your favorite music era?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think some people would say their college days.
So you don't think, okay, I know 18 is the early part of college.
They say like 19 to 24.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think that also, Reimer?
No, I still think
13 to 18, right?
Yeah, right in around the high school ages.
That's what I think too.
I don't know, because I'm sitting here thinking 19 to 24. That's some great.
Hey,
music.
those bus rides to games always hit different.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
with some good music.
I think it's less about the music quality and more about what we're doing when we're listening to it. Right now in our lives, we're listening to music on our way to work, on our way to pick up kids, on our way to go to some sporting event or some assembly at school that, my God, I don't want to go hear a bunch of kids sing some damn song. But when we're going to a game like you're talking about or going out with our friends, the music hits different.
Yes. I was sitting there, it's funny you bring this up. I was on my way to the station, and I had my phone on shuffle, and In the Air by Phil Collins came on.
Yeah.
And
it
took me right back to like being in warm-ups on a football game. It's kind of crazy.
So that was 1981, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but obviously I wasn't even thought of at the time.
Well, let's not be a jerk about it. No, I mean, you don't have to say that.
I was just saying. Obviously, I wasn't around when it first came out.
That.
But when you hear that song, it's always like a warm-up song on a football field, like stadiums playing.
Sure, but you wouldn't say, though, 1981 was the best time for music. You would not say that.
No. How would I know?
That's what I'm saying. I think that most it's
90s R&B. I can tell you all about that because I still listen to a lot of that.
That's
today.
What I mean. Exactly.
I can listen to a lot of that today.
AJ1971 says Kwame also made Only You. It's true, but he misspelled the way Only You was on the Kwame thing. That's okay. Came out in 1989, but Tito, you sound ridiculous. That's okay. Somebody awesome IGR says Nas in the 90s.
Nas was really good.
Nas was good too. Yeah.
Nas Illmatic is like arguably one of the best albums of all time.
I'm just saying, I think that most of the way we view music, and maybe I'm wrong on this, but I'm glad people are chiming in on the chat because I'd love to hear from more people. But it goes back to where we were at in our lives and when we were consuming it. Because if you're going to games like we talked about, if you're going to a high school friend's party, something like that. Mm-hmm. If you're doing those things, then it feels different. With even the music might not be as good, but it feels different because of what you're doing. You have no responsibilities, and you're younger.
So responsibilities. I tell you what, some of the stuff that I listened to back in the day doesn't resonate with me now.
I'm sure it doesn't.
Because it's like, and I tell my friends this. I got this argument with my friends. Yeah. I don't know how we got on music, but like some of the stuff that they listen to, like I'll be like, I'm not in that space in my life. Like that's not who I am. So like it doesn't hit for me like it used to.
I have said many times, Chuck D, and Public Enemy, and NWA made me hate white people for years. I'm not there now. But I'm saying they did because they were right, and it was a great beat. And so, X-Clan, that's another one. You don't know X-Clan. X-Clan, heed the word of the brother. I'm telling you. Pac, those guys.
You hate your own kind?
Dude, I was so racist to white people for like 5 years because now I'm not that way anymore. But I'm just saying, those guys did something to me.
It was a movement.
There was a movement.
It was a movement. I was too young for it, but like I can definitely know that it was a movement.
J. Cole just dropped a song last night.
Clouds.
Yeah.
It's a great song.
Yeah.
Who is it?
J. Cole.
Jermaine Lamar Cole.
Is he related to Little Dicky?
No.
Is he Little or Dicky?
No, J. Cole is the
Is he black?
Yes.
Okay.
He's mixed.
First of all, don't say okay, how about that? Why do we call mixed people black? Usually. We never look at the mixed person as that guy's white.
We always go off of if you can say the word or not.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
So if you're mixed, you can say the word.
Yeah.
But why don't we identify them as white also?
I have no idea. Because they got color, maybe? I don't know.
I'm just scared. Like, as a society. God, Fish is so mad right now. He's listening to this. I would call him to his office. I've always wondered about that, Tyvis. Like, why is it that we can say, like, if you're black, you're black. If you're white, you're white.
But if
you're mixed, you're black. Why is that?
I don't know. That's actually a really good question. I don't know. I have no idea.
If you're Well, I'm not going to. Listen, I enjoy working here too much to go dive deeper into this. But yeah, thank you very much for that. My producer over there, my superstar Jacob, shows me the sign for let's take a break. We will do that. Let's take a break. Coming next, John Gerber, our golf betting expert, joins us. This is Fan Sports Sunday on the Fan.
We know everything about you. We know you love the Buckeyes. We know you love the Jackets. We know you're wearing a red shirt. I just freaked the hell out of someone. The Fan.
Welcome to the plus side, where a AAA Plus membership means that an empty gas tank won't keep you from a full day, and where a dead battery can't stop you from being the life of the party. Because on the plus side, roadside mishaps don't have to ruin your day. With AAA Plus, tire changes, battery swaps, and emergency fuel are just a tap away. AAA gets to you faster, and if you need a tow, we'll take you further. Become a member today and experience peace of mind on the plus side. Towing is subject to a 7-day waiting period. Terms and conditions apply.
It's been a great run. Care Heating and Cooling has achieved goals I could only imagine 30 years ago. But now it's time for the next generation to take over. This is Mike Weens, now the retired founder of Care Heating and Cooling with my sons, Dennis and Ryan.
Dad, as Care grew over the years, you had many opportunities to sell Care to one of the big conglomerates that are buying companies all over Central Ohio. So tell our customers why you decided to keep Care in the family.
After talking about Care's values for over 30 years, I couldn't bear the thought of Care becoming the kind of company I was warning our customers about. I know the two of you will continue to treat our customers as I would, with honesty and integrity.
We will, Dad. In 2024, Care was awarded a BBB Torch Award for Ethics and was named the Lennox Partner of the Year. You don't earn those awards by leaving cat toys behind.
Call Care Heating and Cooling at 1-800-COOLING or schedule an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com. When you need a company you can trust.
Giant Eagle is making it easy to surround yourself with savings with new low prices on hundreds of your favorite produce items like pineapples, avocados, navel oranges, and lettuce at your neighborhood Giant Eagle.
Listen to Financially Fit Radio with Corey Sickles this Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN, covering topics like what you need to know about annuities and how to stay healthy and enjoy retirement. Financially Fit Radio this Saturday at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN.
Hey folks, Austin Ward here, thinking I did something spectacular dropping 50 pounds, but then Steve pops in and dropped a whopping 150 pounds with Awaken 180 weight loss.
I got started because I was sick and tired of just being sick and tired all the time, wanted more from life. And I knew that at my size, I wasn't being who I could be, who I want to be for not only myself, but for my wife. And I was like, something has got to change and it's got to start soon. I mean, the program is so easy. Everything is really written down for you on your first day. Having someone there to help you and also keep you accountable, just having that someone to talk to, and even the fact that Awaken 180 offers free maintenance for life is amazing because our lives change on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. And sometimes you need help figuring it out because keeping the weight off is a lifetime commitment.
A lifetime commitment is what you'll receive with Awaken 180. More than 50 pounds to lose like I did, or over 100 pounds like Steve, Awaken 180 can get you there and keep you there. Free support for life online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Most radio stations suck. Here's why. They don't invest in local programming. We're live and local 14 hours a day. You can rest assured that every stupid thing we say is 100% local. Homegrown dumb since day one. The Fan.
Beloved former basketball coach and educator Satch Sullinger knows you got to keep moving to stay healthy. But that's not so easy when your aching joints won't cooperate.
We still want to move and we still want to get around and we still want to be active, but we start to deteriorate the moment we quit moving.
QC Kinetics regenerative treatments help restore movement in stiff, aching knees, hips, shoulders, and back, using only your natural healing properties to help restore damaged joints. That's a huge positive for Satch.
It's working, and what I really like about it is there's nothing foreign put in my body. Everything that was put in my body has been taken from my body. I love it. I love it. Like I said, I want to live until the day I die.
Get rid of the pain and start moving again. Go to qckinetics.com/Columbus and call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation. 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. Again, 208-4544. QC Kinetics.
Winter's here, and as the snow begins to pile up outside, you might find yourself dreaming of warmer days, sunshine, barbecues, fishing, maybe even thinking about those home projects you've been putting off for forever. Why wait for spring to start planning? now's the perfect time to get ahead. With so many roofing, gutter, and siding companies out there, it can feel overwhelming to know where to begin. With over 30 years of experience and a focus on every detail, Newman Roofing makes it simple. As a family-owned business, they're dedicated to delivering an outstanding customer experience from your first phone call all the way through to the final touches on your home. When it comes to roofing, gutters, and siding, trust the name that's been a local favorite for decades, Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF. 614-NEW-ROOF, or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Time now to get a look at your weather for today. Lots of sunshine. It'll feel like a heat wave. Today's high around 40. Tonight we drop on down to 28. Monday, partly cloudy with a high of 49. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
If you haven't thought about Buckeye football today, I'm sorry to tell you that you're dead. Our condolences. You're home of the Buckeyes, The Fan. Just because it's the weekend doesn't mean we shut up. This is Fan Sports Sunday.
Fan Sports Sunday. My brother, John Gerber, joins us here now on the Brian Heating Cooling System Fan Guest Hotline. He is the host of the From the Rough podcast on FanStream Sports, powered by DSP Media. Also writes for Athlon Sports. He is our golf betting expert. Gerb, it's been, I know you're down in Dallas, so you probably haven't heard everything going on, but I've caught a lot of shrapnel from my talk about rapping and the rap people I enjoyed. And Tyvis has made fun of me for not knowing certain people.
I ain't made fun of him.
Yeah, you have. And we are both in the same era. And I've got people on here saying, like Tribe Called Quest, X-Clan, Farside, Outkast, all these things that are coming out now. And I said Third Base. You know all of those guys. And I only say that not asking for a response, just letting everyone know that Gerber and I are from the same generation. Gerb, the From the Rough podcast, it's doing pretty well, I think, in Ohio, isn't it?
Yeah, we're lucky. Well, good afternoon, guys. First off, why are you talking about rap?
Because listen.
Well, I mean, what? First off, you're way older than I am, and I appreciate you saying we're in the same era. That's great. But eras kind of lap over like 10 years, right?
I'm a year older than you.
It's a 10-year thing.
I'm a year older than him. Gerb.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. But listen, stick to sports. Why?
I've got flavor for days. Go ahead.
Well, just one day maybe, and the rest are 7 days in the week. So let's just move on. But yeah, we're very fortunate. We got rated number one golf podcast in Ohio and number one golf podcast in North Carolina. So we're very fortunate. We're making some great progress. We appreciate all the listeners in Ohio. But yeah, it's been great. The picks have been great. A little profit last week. We were 1-0 yesterday with the Patrick Rogers win. And we're up to potentially having a massive day today. On one caveat is, Tyvis, are we friends? Are we consider ourselves friends?
Yes, yes.
Can you use the word?
Yes.
Okay, because that's Tyvis. No, that's Tyvis's way. Go ahead. Do your thing.
I need a favor. I just need a favor today. And would you take him somewhere today where there's no TV and put him in a room? Because this is what happens when we're about to embark on a massive day in our picks. He will watch TV and jinx me on days like today that we potentially have the winner, we potentially have both top 10 picks, and we potentially have the top 20 picks, because almost could run the gamut. But I don't know what he does. Does he take out the doll in the studio and put pins in it when we're up to that? Because it turns into a potentially $5,000 profit day to a $50 profit day when he watches golf.
It's funny.
Sundays in the spot.
It's funny that you bring this up, because that was actually one of my questions for you. It's like, when there is no stars in these tournaments, how do you know who to bet on?
Yeah, and it's, with a young tournament such as the Mexico Open, it's been around. This is fourth year out there. You kind of look at past trends and who has won on this type of golf course, and we looked at it. We knew the long hitters. Last year with the emergence of Jake Knapp, that's now become a superstar and a household name on the PGA Tour. John Rahm winning, and back-to-back Tony Finau winning. So it sets up to guys who fit that mold, who hit the ball far. accuracy is not really the biggest part there. The rough isn't, there's not a lot of rough. So you kind of tend to lend on guys that are hitting the golf ball very far. And it just goes to show with the leader, Aldris Potier, who we've touted him for 7-8 months now, who's probably the longest guy in professional golf these days. He's probably, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that, at the age of 19, he was one of the only people in professional golf that's played in all 4 majors. So you're looking at those trends. He had an opportunity to win at Torrey Pines. That last round kind of got him, but he sits there in a spot. We picked him to finish in the top 10, not to win, but we did pick Steven Yeager to win, and we also do have Aaron Rye to finish in that top 10. So as long as Tito doesn't watch TV today and watch golf, we could be in really good shape.
Gerber knows a lot about golf. He's the host of From the Rough podcast, the top golf podcast in the state of Ohio and also North Carolina as well. It's on FanStream Sports. Download their app. It's free for Apple and Android users. Check that out. Lots of live programming they have on there. At Jay Gerber PGA Pro, by the way, is where he's at on Twitter. At Jay Gerber PGA Pro. Gerb, I tell you can only listen to one or the other the rest of your life. Is it third base or Kwame?
Who's Kwame?
Dude, you know Kwame is the rhythm.
See that?
Only you.
See that?
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, do I have other choices?
No, those are 2. Kwame or third base.
Boy, that's a tough one. They're the
gas
same.
face, third base.
Oh yeah, I would have to say third base, but there's a lot of other groups in your era that you would probably pick.
Dude, we're 1 year apart. We're a year apart.
Well, well, maybe, but just an age only. Just an age only.
Don't you dare.
Gerb, and if I wanted to become a professional golfer, what's the steps that I would have to take? I just out of curiosity.
I was going to say something that gives you so much trouble.
I want to go from throwing the club in the water to become a professional golfer.
Well, step one was rethink of that. Let's rethink that first. That's step one. No, it's a process. There's not a lot of guys that come out that are just, great. And there's, that's a question that I can't answer. Everyone has their own kind of journey on how to become a professional golfer or a golf professional or be in the business of golf. It's not the same for everyone. You don't see a lot of the Aldridge Potiers that's leading the golf tournament now in Mexico. You don't see a lot of those guys that are the Tiger Woods or, those prodigies. So everyone's process is a little bit different. First off is you have to be better than Tito. That's number one. That's number one. You have to be better than him, which is not very difficult to be, but that's step one. And it's just, it's just like being any other sport. To be any other, professional sport. It takes time, it takes dedication, and it takes a lot of help along the way from people to kind of get to that goals. And it's, dedication is one of it too. So there's a lot of things to it. Just not say, hey, I want to be a professional golfer or a professional athlete. You know that.
I tried to be like J.R. Smith. I'm gonna go back to college. Go ahead and become a golfer like that. You don't think I could do it, Tito?
No, he tried to be like Ted Knight in Caddyshack, To Date Myself More, and he threw his club and got mad and almost killed somebody. That's what Tyvis tried to do.
He told me that story before. He told me that story in the fall. And I told him we could certainly work on that, the throwing club part when I get back up there. That's goal number one. We got to stop that.
Hey, Gerb, look, you do this when I get back up there kind of stuff with all of us. And we'll say things like, Gerb, how about but next time I come up there, it never happens. Because you have not talked to Tyvis yet and helped him out with not throwing clubs. And you have not got my game down to where I'm breaking 90.
Ain't you supposed to have like a loose grip anyway?
Yeah, you have a loose grip, but not like that loose of a grip. You don't put WD-40
up there.
No, there
snow up there.
There might be.
It's going to be in the 40s and 50s this week. Actually.
Gerb won't be here. Gerb has gotten. Look, Gerb, I love you. You played City League golf and you excelled, but you're soft now.
That's fair.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, I'm not. It's not a.
He can't even go fight it.
No, he can't. Look, he's had too much time in Texas, too much time playing in Mexico, and in Florida, in avoiding. Look, Gerb's at a point in his life. Okay, much different than mine. Gerb can run away from winter. I can't. I'm stuck here. Gerb has the means. You can go away from winter.
Well, if you don't watch golf today, he really go have the means.
I know, but that's what Gerb does. God love Gerb, but he can go away from. If Gerb never wants to see snow again, he has that option. Fair?
I'm not arguing with you that I'm soft. I will be 100. Listen, if you're going to make this an argument, there's no argument. You're 100% right. There's not an argument here. Listen, I'm a fair weather golfer. If I see I have a rule, if I see my breath, I'm not playing golf.
Yeah. So Charmin Gerber joins us here on the Brian Heating Cooling System fan. By the way, Mike Todd, who does all the Jackets stuff, Gerb, and like he's if you at a Jackets game, you see Mike Todd all the time. He said "Pop goes the weasel" because the weasel goes pop, and you and I both know what that reference means, right?
That is a third base song.
Thank you.
That is a third base song. That is true.
Gerb, you're the man. Thanks for talking to us, buddy. We appreciate that, and best of luck with your bets. I'm not going to watch golf today. Okay, I won't do it.
Thanks for having me on. And Tyvis, please, just send me the bill wherever you take him. It's not going to be a library. We know that because that's usually no TVs there. But please take him and hide him somewhere today. And I will take you to dinner, you and your beautiful bride.
Yeah, next time you're here, right? Next time you're here. Yes, next time you're here. That's fine. We won't hold our breath on that. Thanks, brother. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Have a good weekend.
All right, coming up in 2 minutes, the OSU coaching staff's been finalized. Is a turnover a good thing? We'll do that next. Fan Sports Sunday on the Fan.
For the Blue Jackets, the magic happens on the ice. But for Blue Jackets fans looking for an amazing getaway, the real Florida magic is here in Central Florida's Polk County. From the natural beauty of Bok Tower Gardens to the all-ages fun at Legoland Florida Resort to the chance to do some luxurious glamping on a working dude ranch, it's all here. Even better, it's all just minutes from other area theme parks, too. Discover everything we offer and plan your trip to see the real Florida at visitcentralflorida.com today.
Your husband is pretty handy to have around. He makes the world's best mac and cheese.
Lunch is ready.
He's in the Tickle Monster Hall of Fame. And he can teach anyone how to throw strikes. But a busted pipe and a basement full of water?
Honey, I think we need a plumber.
Is a little out of his league. That's where a homeowner's policy from Shelter Insurance comes in handy. We'll help get your house back in order and your husband back to what he does best.
Find an agent at shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
It's a different world today than it was 30 years ago when I started Care Heating and Cooling. This is Mike Weens, now the retired founder of Care Heating and Cooling with my sons, Dennis and Ryan.
Dad, 30 years ago, you were the first to warn of companies using service technicians as salespeople, of abusing the trust that a service technician has. With the big conglomerates now buying companies all over Central Ohio, this has become the normal business model.
It's all about greed. The conglomerates know they can make a lot more money by incentivizing their technicians to sell furnaces instead of fixing them. They train their techs to take advantage of a customer when they are the most vulnerable.
Dad, that is not how we were taught. In 2024, Care Heating and Cooling was awarded a BBB Torch Award for ethics and was named the Lennox Partner of the Year. You don't earn those awards by leaving cat toys behind.
Call Care Heating and Cooling at 1-800-COOLING or schedule an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com. When you need a company you can trust.
An ex-jock and a very puffy, smooth-faced man. These are the first voices you should hear. Morning Juice. Your wake-up service.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9.
The Fan. Garnish your Bloody Mary with sports talk. You're listening to Fan Sports Sunday.
We're back on the air. Fan Sports Sunday. Tito, Tyvis, Reimer.
You know, we got two basketball games on in the studio here, and both of them are not competitive at all.
Celtics, Knicks.
St. John's,
UConn. I can't. The St. John's, UConn thing. I can't figure out UConn. I don't know if I love or hate Dan Hurley.
I love him.
You love him. Reimer loves him.
He went back and got him a bag. He could have been a L.A. Lakers coach right now.
Well, Purdue and Indiana's getting ready to start, so it could be a competitive game there.
Yeah. By the way, one of the breaks, by the way, just so you guys know this, okay? Tyvis did what my wife does.
What I do?
Exactly what my wife does. So we're in the break, and Tyvis is by the televisions changing stations.
Mm-hmm.
I can talk to Reimer here on my microphone. Tyvis is over on the other side of the studio, can't talk to Reimer. He says to me, hey, ask Reimer what channel that one game's on. That's what my wife would do. She would say, hey, go over there and get that thing.
He knew what I was talking about.
I say, what thing? That thing over there.
I responded and said, what game is he talking about?
That's exactly. He just said, ask Reimer what channel that game's on.
It's only one game.
No, there's a lot. We just said there were at least two.
College basketball games?
Okay, doesn't matter. You didn't say college. You didn't say ask Reimer what channel the college basketball game's on.
Wait a minute.
You said ask Reimer what channel that game's on.
This is preposterous because this is Reimer we talking about.
Preposterous.
If I'm asking Reimer for a game, that should be the only. This guy's a college basketball fanatic.
It doesn't matter.
He should know that I'm talking about college basketball.
Hey, where's that one thing? That's the kind of stuff I get. Hey, where's that one thing?
And then you describe
things thinking today.
Where's that one thing? What channel's that one game on? And like I tell my wife, by the way, if you're looking for a game, looking for a show, hit guide, scroll down until you find the show.
What the thing is, okay, that's a different situation. The difference between this situation and that situation is Reimer was sitting in there watching the game, so he knew what channel the game was.
Did you know what game he meant? If he would have said, if I said, what channel's that game on?
Well, I think it was halftime, so there was no game on. I didn't know what he was talking about.
That's a great question.
Take that for data.
I'm just saying, Tyvis, it was not a great question the way you phrased it.
That's cool. I see what this is.
I also watch NBA. But like right now, it's college basketball.
I know it's college.
The only thing on my
we
TV.
got Celtics Knicks on. There's other things on right now as well.
This is put the breaking news sign.
You want to do that?
Play that. Rhyme Time watches NBA basketball. I did not know that.
College basketball.
When the playoffs start.
I thought he only watched college basketball. I did not know he watched the NBA.
Okay, let's ask this in. Is that the only time you watch it? It's the only time you watch NBA is for playoff, like the time you're invested?
When the season is starting, because there's still no college basketball on yet, and then when the playoffs start. And I'll watch on Christmas Day.
Well, that's
even though we did have college basketball games in Hawaii that I could watch.
NFL's taking that over.
Yes. Tyvis, when do you watch NBA only at the playoffs?
No.
You watch it during the season too?
Yes. You know why?
Why is it?
Because see what you may know, Tito, is that I'm a man of many occupations.
You've got a lot of jobs.
So
anyway.
for one of my occupations, I have to know the Cavaliers inside and out. So anytime the Cavs play, I typically have to tune in to watch it because at some point I'm gonna have to talk about that.
That makes sense.
So yeah.
All right. Ohio State's finalized their coaching staff. And we've known all these things were going to happen. Like, we knew the Matt Patricia thing was going to happen. And Tyvis, I started to wonder about this. Chip Kelly took a demotion to come here.
Yes.
In title.
Yes.
Okay. Head coach UCLA resigns.
Best decision he ever made.
To come to Ohio State and be the OC.
Parlayed it into a $6 million OC
He is
job.
now the highest paid coordinator in the NFL.
It was the best decision he ever made.
Jim Knowles comes here.
Mm-hmm.
Not a demotion necessarily for him, promotion probably, but nonetheless.
He took a lateral move.
Lateral move, and then now, though, he is the highest paid defensive coordinator in college football.
There's one thing that is in common about this. Ohio State will get you paid.
That's my question for you now. We got Matt Patricia coming here. You've got the Virginia Tech OC comes here to be the offensive line coach now.
And run game coordinator.
Yes. You've got things like that going on. And I know that the turnover sucks. Saban had to deal with turnover, too, in his tenure. But Patricia does not want to be at Ohio State for 5 years.
No.
He wants to be here for a year, maybe two.
Correct.
And then get back to the NFL.
That's right.
And right now, if you're Matt Patricia, if you're Hartline in his new OC role or whatever, but in almost every game you play, you are going to have better talent than the team you're going against.
Yeah.
The Ohio State defense in almost every game this year, maybe save for one or two, depending how the playoffs go and whatnot. But the Ohio State offense will be better than the other team's defense. The Ohio State defense will be better than the other team's offense.
In theory, yes.
In theory, it should be that way.
Correct.
So even though Ohio State's had all this turnover on the coaching staff, I still believe it's a positive. Should be a positive.
Oh, yeah?
If they succeed, because if you can be Ohio State and keep grabbing these guys, look, Saban did it with Kiffin, Sarkisian. I said when Chip Kelly came here, it was not rehab, it was prehab. Because he was going to get fired anyway at UCLA. It was going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So he just made the jump before they could push him.
Smart man.
Very smart.
You can't fire me, I quit.
Yes,
He should have got fired and collected unemployment.
I am breaking up with you is what he did.
It's not you, it's me.
Right. No, it is them. It's not me. Anyway, what I'm saying, though, is if it still keeps working out like this, that is a positive thing for Ohio State, that if they can bring guys in that were great at one position, whatever it is. Chip Kelly is a much better coordinator than a coach.
Yes.
Matt Patricia, I think, is a much great coordinator than a coach. I feel like Jim Knowles should never be a head coach, right?
Yeah, but he's going to scratch. I'm sure he wants to scratch that itch.
I'm sure he does.
Every coach
he interviewed
does.
at Duke.
Every coach does.
Yeah, he interviewed it. I know he wanted to.
Yeah.
But you get guys that come through, though, that are just better coordinators than they could be
sometimes,
coaches.
But you'll never know that you're only a coordinator until you become a head coach.
Right. Yeah, that's fair. But I'm saying, like, it's you get some guys, though, that are better at that than taking the promotion. Some guys are better position coaches than they would be coordinators, right?
I think if I got into coaching, I would just want to be a DB coach, and that's it.
But like Kerry Combs, though.
I don't want to be a DB coach. That's it.
That's it. Kerry Combs, though, was a great DB's coach.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
With the corners, absolutely.
Wasn't a great defensive coordinator.
Yeah, it didn't go well.
Didn't go well for him.
Yeah.
So, like, that was the...
But he had to know. He at least wanted to find out.
Sure, he wanted to find out. Yes, no doubt about it. But that was like, for him, though, that was... I think that was what...
stay in your lane.
What he needed to do. Mm-hmm. He needed to be a DB's coach.
So who are you insinuating is not staying in their lane?
No, I'm not saying that right now. I'm saying everyone is right now. If everyone does that, it's great. I think Patricia will have success as a DC here.
Correct.
And I think that Hartline will be great as an OC.
My only concern, if I had to voice my opinion, this is Tyvis's opinion.
Yeah.
You can take it with a grain of salt. You can listen to it. You can say it's great. You can listen to it and say it's the worst thing you ever heard. But I'm going to tell you what it is.
Let's hear it.
With Matt Patricia, everybody says, you know what I like about him? It's the fact that he can go in every week and he can change your defense, and he has multiple defenses that he can put out there. I think that's a problem in college football. I really do. This is my personal opinion. Because I've been a part of a defense where you changed it every week. It was 2013. We had the worst defense in thing. But when we got to a simple defense where it was simple and I knew the rules and I only had to read one or two things, I was able to play fast, and boom, we won a national championship. I say all that to say it's funny because I think Denzel Burke came out on the podcast with Chim and Brian Browning talking about how we was confused, defense, it was a bunch of calls, we work stuff, then blah, 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 all these things. And it was just a bunch of confusion out there. Then they simplified the defense, boom, they took off. My advice to Matt Patricia is, yes, you are a brilliant defensive mind. You're not dealing with NFL players. You're dealing with college players.
You're not dealing
you can't put a lot on their plate.
You're not dealing with even playing field either.
Yeah, no.
You've got better.
You got to understand that in the NFL, the talent on the NFL is pretty even. So you got to come. Right. So the coaching is very important because these guys can't make any false things because they'll pay for it. In college, you got better players 98% of the time. So the thing that you worry about the most talent-wise, we're going to take care of that anyways.
Okay.
Like, you're worried about how are we going to stop this quarterback from throwing the ball over the middle. Well, Kenyatta Jackson is better than their left tackle, so boom, you ain't even got to worry about it to begin with. Like, that's things that defensive coordinators that's coming from the NFL to college have to understand.
So that's the part that, like, you talked about, the fact that 13 – you were changing things up too much.
It was a lot.
But you guys had a hell of a lot of talent still on defense.
Oh yeah.
Okay, you had a lot of talent.
Ryan, we had Roby, 2 first-round picks.
I know you pointed at Reimer and you said whatever. You pointed at Reimer and said something, but that's okay. And I thought Reimer was not on that defense. And if he was,
I said Ryan.
I know, but you pointed at him though.
Ryan.
Okay,
I said Ryan.
I'm a lockdown defender.
You're not. First of all,
you got to realize I was pointing to where they was on the
safety.
field.
You're not a cornerback, Reimer. Just so you know.
When I was on the field, like Ryan was here.
That's fine.
Roby was there.
But you guys, though, had a lot of talent. And so it'll be interesting to see how Patricia adjusts to that.
Yeah.
And if he's
like I said, I always tell everybody when Jeff Hafley came here, me and Jeff Hafley had a great relationship. So when Hafley came here, I came around to Woody and we was talking about it. And he was like, we're doing all the stuff we did in San Francisco. Right. And he was like, yeah, I'm sitting here watching tape and I'm stressing myself out trying to figure out how we gonna stop this and that. And he said, then I realized when the game played, I'm like, oh, we got better players.
Right. Look, just go out there and be players.
Just don't make them think. Like, don't.
If you're Minnesota,
if they think, they're gonna be slow. You want them to play as fast as possible. So simplify what it is. You got one read. If this dude do this, do that. If he don't do this, that's it. That's it. If you do that, they'll make all the plays in the world.
If you're Minnesota, Northwestern, Purdue, Indiana, whatever it is, no disrespect. Yes, disrespect Indiana, but you've got a scheme.
Yes.
If you're Ohio State, if you're Oregon, if you're Penn State, and I hate saying it, most of the time, if you're that team up north, you don't have to scheme. Just say, hey, how about this? Go out and play football and be a player and be an athlete.
Pretty much.
Yes. All right. We agree on that. Coming up next, Ohio State basketball. They're walking a tightrope right now. I promise you. I'm going to tap into Jacob's knowledge. We'll do that next. Fan Sports Sunday on The Fan.
Head to 971thefan.com to listen on demand and subscribe to all our podcasts. Wasting time has never been easier. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Newman Roofing has been in business for over 30 years, so they know a thing or two about your roofing, gutter, and siding needs, and will ensure every detail is covered from start to finish. So call Newman Roofing today, the company built around family, at 614-NEW-ROOF, or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals with savings beyond low prices. Like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
We've lowered prices. You can save 15% or more on hundreds of items like Thomas Mini Bagels, Campbell's SpaghettiOs, and more. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
This is a Craver service announcement. Stop what you're doing and get 10 cheese sliders for a new low price of just $7.99. Your choice of melty American, spicy jalapeno, or cheddar cheese. Only $7.99 for 10 cheese sliders. White Castle. Follow your crave.
Hey folks, Austin Ward here, thinking I did something spectacular dropping 50 pounds, but then Steve pops in and dropped a whopping 150 pounds with Awaken 180 weight loss.
I got started because I was sick and tired of just being sick and tired all the time. Wanted more from life, and I knew that at my size, I wasn't being who I could be, who I want to be for not only myself, but for my wife. And I was like, something has got to change, and it's got to start soon. I mean, the program is so easy. Everything is really written down for you on your first day. Having someone there to help you and also keep you accountable, just having that someone to talk to, and even the fact that Awaken 180 offers free maintenance for life is amazing because our lives change on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. And sometimes you need help figuring it out because keeping the weight off is a lifetime commitment.
A lifetime commitment is what you'll receive with Awaken 180. More than 50 pounds to lose like I did or over 100 pounds like Steve, Awaken 180 can get you there and keep you there. Free support for life online at awaken180weightloss.com.
That's our us when dreams sunk in. That's our us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH.
That's our us when dreams sunk in. That's our us.
For the Blue Jackets, the magic happens on the ice. But for Blue Jackets fans looking for an amazing getaway, the real Florida magic is here in Central Florida's Polk County. From the natural beauty of Bach Tower Gardens, to the all-ages fun at Legoland Florida Resort, to the chance to do some luxurious glamping on a working dude ranch, it's all here. Even better, it's all just minutes from other area theme parks, too. Discover everything we offer and plan your trip to see the real Florida at visitcentralflorida.com today.
The Buckeye Show.
Jeremiah Smith, he should probably be on the cover of Yankee Sports.
Absolutely.
Like 100% probably will be on the cover.
There's no curse for that, is there?
The Buckeye Show.
Presented by Coors Light and sponsored by Care Source.
Weeknights at 6 on The Fan.
Back in the studio with a return visit from
Todd Schmelt.
Todd, the last time you were with us, you claimed to be
the dumbest person in Columbus.
You're being really hard on yourself.
Not in the least. You know what I got?
I hate to ask.
One of them thermostats with the dial and the needle. Woo, woo, woo.
Maybe that's not modern, but not...
What am I? Eli Whitney, Elias Howe, Johann Gertis?
I don't know who those people are.
Those are old-timey people from the 19th century, and that's me. Outdated, like my silly old thermostat. thermostat.
Okay, look, you're not the dumbest guy in Columbus. You just haven't called Apex Pros.
The pros who knows?
Those guys. Whether it's the latest technology, fixing your furnace, or a brand new system, they know all the stuff so you don't have to.
I don't have to know it all?
Nah, you just have to know the pros who knows.
Apex Pros. I'm not the dumbest guy in Columbus.
I didn't even know who Johann Gertis was.
Inventor of the gas-powered unicycle. Look it up, doy.
Okay, you don't have to be me.
No doubt about it. Columbus loves Apex Pros, the pros who knows. ApexPros.com.
Hi, Bob Mashuter back with a huge message for 2025. Dick Mashuter Ford is offering the biggest deals in a decade to kick off the new year. How about new Broncos for up to $16,000 off? New F-150s up to $11,000 off, and up to $12,000 off the Super Duties. If you resolve to save money this new year, then don't wait and grab your new Ford to kick off an awesome 2025. Dick Mashuter Ford. Closed Sundays because it's the right thing to do, but 24/7 at mashuterford.net.
Your husband is pretty handy to have around. He makes the world's best mac and cheese.
Lunch is ready.
He's in the Tickle Monster Hall of Fame. And he can teach anyone how to throw strikes. But a busted pipe in a basement full of water?
Honey, I think we need a plumber.
Is a little out of his league. That's where a homeowner's policy from Shelter Insurance comes in handy. We'll help get your house back in order and your husband back to what he does best.
Find an agent at shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Live, local, and still slightly drunk.
I'm not drunk, all right? I just have a speech impediment.
This is Fan Sports Sunday.
Speech impediment's what I'm going with today. I'm Tito. Next to me, 31-year-old pal, Jacob Reimer on the other side over there.
Does 31 come off as old?
Dude, you're well into your 30s now. That's all I'm going to say.
Does that come off? If I tell somebody I'm 31, would they be like, "Oh, you're young"? Or
No, they wouldn't. But the fact that you did that, where you said like, "Oh, I'm still 30," when you were like 2 days before being 31, it's insecure, it's churlish, and I feel like it's that's what makes it sound older is the fact you tried to run away from it.
I think, I feel like when you hit 40 nowadays.
Oh, here we go.
Like,
that's what somebody in your 20s you would have said 30, in your 30s you're saying 40s.
Like where is Aaron right now?
That's all we're doing right now.
When I hit 40, like that's when I think I'll be like, all right, yeah,
that's fine, whatever. Ohio State plays today at UCLA. Our coverage starts at 2:45 with Tim Hall with the fan warm-up show. We'll do the network pregame show as well before they start playing a game. They had this loss to Northwestern that was terrible. Ohio State needed that win. Jacob, I know that Ohio State still has a good chance of making the tournament, but to me, they don't look like a tournament team. Do they look like one to you?
No, just because Thursday against Northwestern was not a very fun watch.
Yes.
And I don't know, you're looking at like all the bubble teams. Of course, like I watch a lot of Auburn and Duke and Bama, and just the way they play basketball is a different level than what Ohio State was playing at. Now, the Ohio State on Sunday against Michigan, the way they played, I mean, they put up 83 against the top 20 defense.
Needed 87.
Yeah, but I mean, so that looked like a tournament team, but Thursday, it just did not.
It's so scary because they play UCLA 3:45, right? Right here, you catch right here on the Fan. Right?
There we go. That's a nice job.
There you go. Yeah, Timmy Hall will be here to warm you up at 2:45.
We have Tim Hall in our last segment today, by the way, so he'll warm her up or pre-warm or I guess heat us up. How about that? Heat us up.
What's scary about this team?
Yes,
is you never know what you're going to expect. And to be honest with you, it works both ways because if I played against the Buckeyes, like you'd have to still play your best game because you don't know what they're going to be. Like they either going to be right there with you and match you shot for shot, or you going to go on the 17-2 run and it's going to be done.
Eldon Miller, former coach for Ohio State, back in the mid-70s. His winning percentage was .591. He was followed by Gary Williams. His winning percentage, .590. Randy Ayers, who had a lot of success here, took Ohio State to great heights. They lost in the Elite Eight to Michigan down at Rupp Arena. Famous game for that one. with its Fab Five. Ayer's winning percentage was .534. Jim O'Brien's winning percentage was .601. But when you take out the vacated games, because of all the stuff that happened with the Boban things and the loans he gave to European players he wasn't supposed to, it drops to .472. Now, Thad replaced O'Brien. His was .725. He is the standard. After that, Holtman was .614. Now, so .614 was Holtman, right? And now you've got it's just recently we celebrated the 1-year anniversary of having Diebler take over. And his winning percentage is currently he's won 21 out of 35 games. He's right around where Holtman was. Holtman was .614. So he's very close to what Holtman was for his career here. We know Holtman's last 2 years were awful, especially in January and February, and hasn't wound down. But it's not like Diebler's been a disaster.
No, because he's rattled off some good wins.
He has.
You think about how they opened it up against Texas. Then they beat Kentucky. Auburn obviously wasn't great. Maryland.
Right.
And so you're like, okay, like he's able to play well against good teams.
He's around 60%. He's actually 60% right now is what he is. And Holtman was .614. Before the game against Northwestern, he was .617. But, yeah.
So, yeah, like, I know it was a point of this season where a lot of people was like, I don't even know if he's going to make it through the season. No. And then they rattled off some good wins. And he's like, okay, there we go. Yes. It was all about the month of January. January is the month that a lot of fans are scarred because that's where things went downhill for the past 2 years.
Right.
And I think they finished at, 500, right?
Yeah.
4-4 in the month of January. So people was like, oh, we'll take that. And then even though you lost the rivalry game, everybody still was like, you know what? They was right there. That Wolverine team is the best in the Big Ten as far as record goes. Like you was a Bruce Thornton shorted layup away from tying that game and being in something.
Yes.
And then Northwestern happened, and that's where everybody.
That's where it got bad.
That's where because it was at home.
At home against Northwestern, away on the road coming in. Yes,
loss at home. Yeah. Like it's just you can't explain that. Like that's why people. So right now, everybody's down in the dumps again. And they have to play UCLA, who's a good team.
And Ohio State's a 6.5-point underdog in that game.
And if they come out there and win that game, then boom, everybody's like, okay, I'm back to being a tournament team. But like right now, we got to see it again.
I'm putting some partial blame on Cole from last Sunday.
That's fair. I'll do that. Yeah.
When he said that they haven't had a bad loss yet.
That's good. Yeah, that's a lot of this is Cole's fault. By the way, next segment we'll give you Cole's personal phone number too. You can reach out to him. But we'll get you caught up on everything's going on right now. Everything's happened, will happen this weekend. Talk more about Ohio State basketball. We'll do that next. This is Fan Sports Sunday on the Fan.
Matty Ice has a large tattoo on his calf of LeBron eating a lion. I have nothing else to say. Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in. That's are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in. That's are us.
For the Blue Jackets, the magic happens on the ice. But for Blue Jackets fans looking for an amazing getaway, the real Florida magic is here in Central Florida's Polk County. From the natural beauty of Bok Tower Gardens, to the all-ages fun at Legoland Florida Resort, to the chance to do some luxurious glamping on a working dude ranch, it's all here. Even better, it's all just minutes from other area theme parks, too. Discover everything we offer and plan your trip to see the real Florida at visitcentralflorida.com today.
Winter's here, and as the snow begins to pile up outside, you might find yourself dreaming of warmer days, sunshine, barbecues, fishing, maybe even thinking about those home projects you've been putting off for forever. Why wait for spring to start planning? Now's the perfect time to get ahead. With so many roofing, gutter, and siding companies out there, it can feel overwhelming to know where to begin. With over 30 years of experience and a focus on every detail, Newman Roofing makes it simple. As a family-owned business, they're dedicated to delivering an outstanding customer experience from your first phone call all the way through to the final touches on your home. When it comes to roofing, gutters, and siding, trust the name that's been a local favorite for decades, Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF. 614-NEW-ROOF, or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
It's a different world today than it was 30 years ago when I started Care Heating and Cooling. This is Mike Weens, now the retired founder of Care Heating and Cooling with my sons, Dennis and Ryan.
Dad, 30 years ago, you were the first to warn of companies using service technicians as salespeople, of abusing the trust that a service technician has. With the big conglomerates now buying companies all over Central Ohio, this has become the normal business model.
It's all about greed. The conglomerates know they can make a lot more money by incentivizing their technicians to sell furnaces instead of fixing them. They train their techs to take advantage of a customer when they are the most vulnerable.
Dad, that is not how we were taught. In 2024, Care Heating and Cooling was awarded a BBB Torch Award for ethics and was named the Lennox Partner of the Year. You don't earn those awards by leaving cat toys behind.
Call Care Heating and Cooling at 1-800-COOLING or schedule an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com. When you need a company you can trust.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
And now I'm Jacob Reimer. We've got some Buckeye hoops this afternoon. The Ohio State basketball team looks to avoid dropping 3 in a row as they begin their West Coast trip, starting with a matchup against UCLA. Both teams are coming off some rough home losses. Ohio State falling to Northwestern by 21, and UCLA dropping to Minnesota in a game they led by as many as 17. Coverage can be found right here on The Fan, starting at 2:45, with tip-off from Pauley Pavilion at 3:45. UCLA will also be honoring the late, great Bill Walton during the game today. Walton was a Bruins legend who passed away back on May 28th at the age of 71 after a prolonged battle with cancer. The Ohio State women's basketball team just wrapped up their game against Purdue, where they picked up their 23rd win on the season with a dominant 98-46 win over the Boilermakers. Chance Gray led the way with 21 points, and Jelani Cambridge followed with 20 points. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Sports Talk Weekend Style. You're listening to Fan Sports Sunday.
Fan Sports Sunday, Tito, Tyvis, Jacob Reimer. I'm sorry, Tito, the 31-year-old Tyvis. He's well into his 30s now. Not saying he's old, not saying he's young. He's not young.
To be well in your 30s, you got to be 35 and up. No, 35. It's like 35 and ticking.
No, you keep changing. You change it when you were like 28. It's like, oh yeah, if you're 30, you're old.
Now
you're 31.
No,
like, oh no, now you're 35 to be old. It's okay, we all do it.
Everybody knows. See, back in the day.
Back in the day when you were 28.
Back when I was banging.
Yes, back when you were banging. That's fine.
This is the thing. When you hear 30 as an athlete, 30 is like you're old, right? But like to the average human, like 30, like life is just beginning.
We can't talk about average humans.
What?
The three of us right here are not average humans.
I am now.
You're not an average human.
I am an average human now.
You're telling me that you think if we lined up 100 people and measured them all out, measurables on how, like their physique,
I'm fat, so.
You're not fat, you're big boned. But if we measure everyone out and put them all out there, 100 people in a straight line, 100 men, both black and white, which I know that bothers you, but I'm okay with it. But both black and white, ebony and ivory. That's all. Okay, so we do that. We line them all up, 100 people. You think the average person would be your build, look the way you look as far as like youthful appearance, run the same 40 as you, like the average 40 of all those 100 people would be yours. Average bench press would be yours. You think that's all accurate?
Did you know that I found out that the average person can't bench press their own body weight?
Okay. Can you bench press your own body weight?
Yeah, I just did it the other day.
No, I mean like current body weight.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
It's a little heavier than what it used to be.
Did you stand on the scale before you did it?
Yeah.
I think you went in there.
250.
No, I think you went in there, and they said, how much do you weigh? I said, oh, my playing weight's 215. And they said, okay, here's 215, and you lifted that.
No,
I'm just asking. Did they put you on there?
I'm 250, and I threw up 255.
All right. So, okay. So you're better than average. So don't tell me you're average. That's what I'm saying. That's my whole point. You made my point for me. You're not average.
Yes, I am.
No.
I live my life like a regular.
I don't say how you live your life. I didn't say that, Tyvis. I said, are you average?
I'm a regular civilian.
Jacob is a regular civilian.
He's also not a media member.
That's a fact. That's a fact. But I'm a regular civilian.
Listen, when I first met Tyvis, I appreciated the humility. Okay? And I embraced it. And I thought, wow, this guy is down to earth. Right? Now how long have we known you? 5 years, maybe 4 years? Probably 4 years I've known you.
I started doing this in 21.
Okay, 4 years. Now I will tell you, he's a liar. I don't. I think he's morally offensive.
I'm offensive.
Listen, his wife, saint.
That's what everybody says.
Listen, I'm telling you now.
That's what she wants you to think.
Your wife, absolutely right now. She doesn't know it, but she has a pass into heaven. You, my friend, you've got to pass some tests. I'm just saying, listen, you're not an average human.
I'm an average guy.
No, you're not an average.
I'm a very simple guy.
You can be simple, you're not average.
I'm an average, simple, regular civilian.
Jacob, is Tyvis Powell an average human?
No.
Right.
Why do y'all say
he is in the 0.1% that made it to the NFL.
Tell me about it. Maybe the NFL's kind of a strong thing.
Literally.
Dane's got more interceptions.
That's what I'm about to say. Like, I had a cup of tea
Dane's
career.
elite.
Like that. Did I really make it there? Like, is it?
You
really?
got there.
Yeah, but yeah.
You got it. You know what you are? You're NFL adjacent. You've got NFL friends.
Whatever. Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that way.
Let's do that.
But you're better than average. You can't admit it. You're too humble. You can't admit it. Jacob and I both tell you.
I was literally there for a cup of tea. I was there for 4 years. Like
he's below average at Papa Shot.
Yeah, I did today.
Listen to me.
Today is not my day.
I'm going to do that.
Today
Listen,
is not my day.
I'm not going to win another game now.
I like how he said today's not my day.
Today ain't my day.
By the way, the last 4 years are not his last 4 years. Okay, it's not his last 4 years. All it is. He'll get better at some point.
There's been times I've
I'm
done
sure there's
him
been times.
dirty.
Listen, by the way,
can't win today.
The USA beat Russian hockey in 1980, Miracle on Ice. I'm just telling you, we've had to replace a rim out there because of you.
You know the Miracle on Ice, like when he was talking about it, which if you missed that, you can make sure wherever you get your podcast that you can download Fan Sports Sunday.
That's better than average.
And you can watch us back on YouTube. We had a great interview to start this show off that you probably want to go back and listen to. But when he talked about those things, it made me think about the 2014 run. It really did. Because we play, like their Soviet Union was Alabama for us. Like, I know people's like, it's two totally different times. Hear me out. It was a big game. Like, they were like the best. They were the cream of the crop. They were the top of the top. And we beat them and then had to humble ourselves. You couldn't even celebrate it that much, even though the world was going insane.
Right.
You still had to play another game against a team that, well, we were still looked at as underdog. Was the U.S. still considered underdog?
I would think, they were big time. Yeah, look, the Russian hockey team that year, by the way, they won something like 43 straight games in exhibition games going into the Olympics. And they played the Russian team because Russians weren't allowed to play the NHL then. Okay, so you look at guys like we talk about now that are playing in the NHL that are Russian guys that are great. They were not the Russian. The elite of the elite of the elite Russians played for the national team. They were playing together, this team, for 5, 6, 7 years. Even growing up, like they played together in academies and stuff going into this. And the Russian team beat a team of NHL All-Stars. Like they played an NHL All-Star team in a series and beat them in that. And then 3 days before the Olympics started, in an exhibition, the Russian team played our U.S. team with Eurizione and those guys. The Russian team won 10-3. In the Olympics, the Russians scored 17 goals in a game. In one of the games, they scored 17 goals in the preliminary thing. Russia was considered, at that point in 1980, the greatest hockey team ever assembled. Ever. And NHL teams, whatever you want. At that time, the U.S. only had amateur players. You had guys who played in college or were in college still, and you had guys there were a couple guys that had a little bit of professional experience, but not much. But it was all like Eurizione said, the average age of the USA team was like 22. Mm-hmm. For the Russian team, it was like 26 or 27. Average age.
It's a big difference.
And these Russian guys, they trained year-round together. And so they played, like I said, when I say they played 7 years together, that's like 7 years all the time, every time. This U.S. team got together about 7 months before the Olympics, and none of them had played. Many of them had not played together. And so Herb Brooks, who was the head coach at Minnesota at the time.
Not tonight.
Right. He takes over this team, and he goes in and makes the cuts. Like there's, 50, 60 guys that show up there in Colorado for this thing, to get ready for the Olympics, to make the team. And he immediately knocks it down to like 26 guys, maybe 27 guys, without talking to the rest of the committee for the U.S. He has this meeting, he says, this guy's cut, does all this. And then the U.S. is like, the committee is like, wait, why are you cutting these guys? You've only had them for like a day. And he said, I know. He said, this is how I'm doing it. And they were all pissed off about it. And they were like, Herb, how can you make these decisions without talking to us? We want to have a say in it. We are part of the committee. And he said, look, you hired me for a job. I don't want the best players. I want the best team. Mm-hmm. Which is why in Tyvis, like I say, 13 of the 20 guys that were on this team did not ever played in the NHL. Only 13. None of them were elite players. Eurizione was a fantastic player for the U.S. in the Olympics. Never played in the NHL. Jim Craig, their goalie, was amazing in the Olympics. Against Russia, if you go back and watch that game, the saves he made were incredible.
He was standing on his head.
Standing on his head.
You liked that, didn't you? You didn't know I knew that.
That was pretty good. No, that's all right. Look, hey, I don't see color. And so he, in that moment, though, like in that game, though, he was fantastic in the U.S. Olympics. He played like 4 nondescript seasons in the NHL. And so that's what's amazing about this team is that they were able to, you had all these guys that never were great. Never. None of them were great NHL players. A couple guys had longer careers, but none of them were like Gretzky, Lemieux, Rick Nash, even if you want to go there. None of them were like that. But it was like perfect storm stuff. And the fact that the U.S. was going through the Cold War with Russia at the time, and our country was in disarray. We were a depressed country. Regardless of what you think now, and I'm not trying to compare the two because I'm older now than back then when I was 8 years old and watching this, but I know that there were lines a mile long at gas stations because of shortages, because of some of the embargoes we had going on. So, like, we had incredibly high inflation. We had a depressed country, and Russia and the United States were involved in a Cold War. So the game, and look, the similarities you mentioned about, yes, the Alabama game was the biggest game for you guys.
Oh, yeah.
The Russia game was the biggest game for this U.S. team. Mm-hmm. But you still had to go out, both of you, and win a second game, which I didn't think about until you brought it up. But there are extreme similarities there because everyone thinks like, Zeke running through the heart of the South.
Yeah.
You know, what a big game that was. That Ohio State, a number 4 seed, knocked off the Giants, number 1 Alabama.
Yeah, it's a big moment.
But you still had to beat Oregon.
Had to beat Oregon. The only difference, like you said, I think we were both underdogs still going into that game, which was crazy to think about that. But and it's funny because even if they lost, like Team USA lost or we lost, it wouldn't even meant nothing. It wouldn't be.
See, I don't think it would, though, Tyvis. It wouldn't be as much. No, listen, it wouldn't be as much.
Would not be the same. It wouldn't hit the same. Mike said that. Like,
I know he said that.
Yo, it was great what you did, but
no, you guys were in it. Jacob, chime in here. Okay, I know if Ohio State loses to Oregon in that game, that Alabama game is still huge. Tyvis still is not paying for a meal in Columbus. If the U.S. loses, you don't pay for any meals. Don't do this right now. We're going to do the humble thing now. Don't be humble.
With all regular civilians,
dude, you don't pay You don't pay for anything.
I do the same thing. Regular. I stand in lines and everything.
Okay, there we go. Let me know. Say period when you're done.
Go
because
ahead.
I don't believe
it.
I don't believe you. Anyway, if the U.S. loses to Finland, it's still a great win over Russia. We're still talking to Mike Eurizione. If Ohio State loses to Oregon, Tyvis Powell's still sitting right there, right here with me.
I don't know about that.
Do you
I
agree?
think so. Yeah.
I think so too.
Because I said to you, it's like North Carolina when they beat Duke.
Okay,
and then went to lose Kansas.
Don't do that. Don't. We're not going to compare it. Look, we're reaching already. Don't do it now and take it further.
Oh, my goodness.
But I'm just saying, no, listen, though. But if they don't beat Oregon, I still think Tyvis is former Buckeye great, played for the team that beat Alabama in the playoff, right?
Yes.
I think so, too, yes.
But it's something about national champion that just...
No doubt. It's bigger.
Yeah,
I got it.
Yeah.
It's bigger. I'm with you. Coming up next, I called Nebraska and head coach Matt Rule cowards for canceling their spring game. Apparently I was wrong. But they gave me another reason to call them cowards. I'll tell you about that next. Fan Sports Sunday on The Fan.
Whatever you're doing right now, just know that Bo Bishop is enjoying a sip of bourbon. Even if this promo is playing in the morning, no judgment.
Ah, sweet morning drinking.
The Fan.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
For the Blue Jackets, the magic happens on the ice. But for Blue Jackets fans looking for an amazing getaway, the real Florida magic is here in Central Florida's Polk County. From the natural beauty of Bok Tower Gardens, to the all-ages fun at Legoland Florida Resort, to the chance to do some luxurious glamping on a working dude ranch, it's all here. Even better, it's all just minutes from other area theme parks, too. Discover everything we offer and plan your trip to see the real Florida at visitcentralflorida.com today. Listen to Financially Fit Radio with Corey Sickles this Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN, covering topics like what you need to know about annuities and how to stay healthy and enjoy retirement. Financially Fit Radio this Saturday at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN.
Hey folks, Austin Ward here, thinking I did something spectacular dropping 50 pounds, but then Steve pops in and dropped a whopping 150 pounds with Awaken 180 weight loss.
I got started because I was sick and tired of just being sick and tired all the time. Wanted more from life, and I knew that at my size, I wasn't being who I could be, who I want to be for not only myself, but for my wife. And I was just like, something has got to change and it's got to start soon. I mean, the program is so easy. Everything is really written down for you on your first day. Having someone there to help you and also keep you accountable, just having that someone to talk to, and even the fact that Awaken 180 offers free maintenance for life is amazing because our lives change on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. And sometimes you need help figuring it out because keeping the weight off is a lifetime commitment.
A lifetime commitment is what you'll receive with Awaken 180. More than 50 pounds to lose like I did, or over 100 pounds like Steve, Awaken 180 can get you there and keep you there. Free support for life online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. GI Bill, SkillBridge, and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
Your husband is pretty handy to have around. He makes the world's best mac and cheese.
Lunch is ready.
He's in the Tickle Monster Hall of Fame. And he can teach anyone how to throw strikes. But a busted pipe in a basement full of water?
Honey, I think we need a plumber.
Is a little out of his league. That's where a homeowner's policy from Shelter Insurance comes in handy. We'll help get your house back in order and your husband back to what he does best.
Find an agent at shelterinsurance.com. Wear your shield. We're your shelter.
Here at The Fan, we give you 14 hours of live and local programming every day. We care about you. We live and work in your community. Except Bo Bishop. He won't tell us where the hell he is. Your live and local station. Except Bo. The Fan.
Men, this is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. The one you love is the light of your life. And if you're like most of us, you want to do whatever you can to nurture your relationship. But if you're suffering with erectile dysfunction, you know the impacts the condition is likely having on you and your partner. ED is a relationship destroyer. It can contribute to depression, distancing, conflicts, and even breakups and divorce. And what's so disturbing about this is that most men who suffer with ED can be successfully treated, but a lot of guys don't seek treatment when they should. At Tri-State Men's Health, we have protocols that are effective in well over 90% of cases. In fact, if you're like most guys, you could be having great sex within a day or two of your first appointment, and maybe find you're performing like you haven't in a long time. So call Tri-State Men's Health today. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices across the tri-state area to serve you.
Common Man here for Universal Windows Direct. It's time for the Love Your Windows sales event. If you buy 2 windows, you get 2 free, and there's no limit. So if you need 20 windows, you only pay for 10. It's the perfect way to save big while upgrading your home. And that's not all. Universal Windows Direct is offering no interest financing for 3 years. That's 36 months of easy payments with 0% interest. And if you already have a price from another company, Universal Windows Direct will beat it. So you know you're getting the best deal around. Call them today, 614-502-5220, universalwindowsdirect.com.
The Reds are on the radio.
Long fly ball, deep left center field, way back. It is gone.
This could be an inside the park home run. Ellie De La Cruz is on.
He leaps and he caught it.
20 home runs on the year for Spencer Steer.
What will Terry Francona's 2025 Reds look like? Find out for yourself. Cactus League play is underway. Hear all the action on your home of the Reds.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Time now to get a look at your weather for today. Lots of sunshine. It'll feel like a heat wave. Today's high around 40. Tonight we drop on down to 28. Monday, partly cloudy with a high of 49. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
If the sound of another man slammed against plexiglass turns you on, you've come to the right place. Proud to be your home for Jackets hockey. The Fan, Ohio sports destination. During weekend programming, pants are optional.
Look at my butt!
However, leather chairs may have been a bad choice. You're listening to Fan Sports Sunday.
Fan Sports Sunday. Tito, Jacob Reimer. 31-year-old pal with me on the right. A man well into his 30s. We saw Tim Hall in the break. Tim's going to join us here for our last segment.
Timothy.
Why do you say Timothy?
Because, well, this is the thing, Jeffrey. If your parent, if your mom and dad took the time out to name you Jeffrey, I feel like it's disrespectful if we don't call you that. Because if they wanted us to call you something else, they wouldn't have named you that.
I don't know how to spell my first name.
Jeffrey? Mm-hmm. Do you do the FR or do you do the FER?
I'm not sure.
Well, you got to look on your card.
I've got 2 birth certificates that have different names on them. One's ER, one's RE. The GE ones, you guys can go to hell. Okay, if you're Jeffrey with a G.
Jeffrey off of the Fresh Prince was with a G.
That you know what? I'm telling you, Geoffrey, you can't trust Geoffreys. And by the way, Tyvis, that's the way I found out. The way I found out there was another way to spell Jeffrey was in 4th grade. We were reading a book as a group. Why are you laughing already?
You had to read out loud?
Yes. Everyone goes around and reads a chapter out loud in the group.
And you got to that G.
Our group was, the book was Tales of a 4th Grade Nothing. Great book.
You said Geoffrey.
It came to me to read that part, and that's how I pronounced it out loud. Everyone laughed.
Geoffrey?
I said Geoffrey. I actually said that because I'm Jeffrey with a J. Who the hell is Geoffrey? And I got corrected. It was embarrassing. I got laughed at. I also hadn't combed my hair that day, so it was a mess.
Did you really feel embarrassed?
I did. I honestly was embarrassed. More the hair thing.
I don't think I've ever felt embarrassed in school in my life.
Well, you're Tyvis. There's no way you can screw that up.
Well, I mean, I did a really good job of turning.
First of all, we know who you were.
I was a class clown, yeah.
You weren't a class clown.
I was a class clown.
How'd you afford the shoes?
How did I? What shoes?
The clown shoes. Oh. They were big and red with the red nose.
Yeah.
Okay. Tyvis, when Matt Rule canceled the Nebraska spring game and said, because I don't want other people looking at my players.
Yep.
And I said he's a coward. There's no way Ohio State would ever care about that. They'll never do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ohio State has changed their policy a little bit for this year. They're not going to have a traditional spring game, which really, traditional spring game went out the window a long time ago. It used to be an intent, like it used to be.
What is this? What is it when you think of a spring? Because when I was playing, the last spring game that was a spring game was my first spring game.
That
here,
wasn't even a spring game
2012.
No,
yes,
it wasn't even.
Yes,
no,
it was. Yes, it was.
You're telling me guys were out there hitting like a regular game?
Yes.
I watched that game, but I didn't see it.
Except the quarterback. Yes.
Right, except the score. That's what I'm talking about.
They never had a spring. You got to go back to the 90s for that.
There were guys getting cheap interceptions in those early games you played.
What is that supposed to mean?
What do you mean? I'm just saying that like the interceptions were real interceptions back then because you couldn't hit the quarterback.
I don't think that's fair at all.
No, I'm just saying though. Okay, so whatever, Tyvis, we can do this. I'm telling you now. I think what Ohio State should do is what they did a couple of times. They did it once in the Trestle. I don't know if they did it in your era or not, where they have like a nighttime practice that everyone sees, and then they do autographs in the stadium. You never did that. Okay.
No.
There was a time in the Trestle era where they didn't play a spring game. They had an open practice. They had a practice at the Horseshoe, and then players were in the concourse of the Horseshoe. And you get in there, get stuff signed, pictures taken, all that kind of stuff. That's probably what it's going to be going forward. Because Ohio State now, USC, Texas, and Nebraska, obviously the first one, said that they weren't going to do the traditional spring game anymore.
So that's the thing about that. I look at it like they should and probably will do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then they would probably sell like tickets to it.
Sure they will. Yeah, because you can't get away from that revenue. You need the revenue.
Exactly. With this whole revenue sharing model coming in, that's a way that the school's got to find a way to make some money. Like, obviously, you can't just do everything you did and then, oh, yeah, by the way, we're going to pay these players.
Like,
no, you got to come up with some more ways to bring in revenue as well. So that would be a way for them to generate revenue is have a practice. After the practice, have guys sign stuff. And then you ain't got to worry about anything because it's like this is part of your revenue sharing agreement. Like we do stuff like this. And there it is.
If you told like right now, tickets like $5-10. How much are there? I think they're $10 each now for just general admission for spring games. If you decided we're going to sell tickets $20 a piece and you don't have to worry about filling the stadium, I'm saying, 100,000 would be great, whatever. But if it ends up being 120,000 tickets you could sell, that's fine because there's SRO, there's room underneath. Nonetheless, whatever you sell the ticket for and say you can come in and we'll have players lined up all around the concourse in different areas. Now, some players are going to draw more than others as far as like attention goes.
Facts.
Right. But if you say it's going to be $20 a ticket, come in here, watch the practice if you want, take the pictures you want, and then have autographs in whatever line you want to get in. They would still do great with that.
Well, the thing is, for $20, you get okay. So it's got
$20.
Let me ask you because you gotta. Do they get how many signatures does $20 get you?
As many as you can get in during the time allotted.
Oh
no, I'm just saying. So like Braxton's line would be crazy long.
Ooh.
I'm trying to disrespect a player now. Give me a player to disrespect.
Tyvis.
No, we're not going to do Tyvis. No. Tyvis, who was your backup? Tell me your backup, Tyvis.
What year?
Any year. Give me a backup on.
My backup before I left was Eric Smith.
Eric Smith would have a much shorter line than Tyvis Powell. If you want Eric Smith's autograph, you got it. Tyvis Powell's, you got to wait a little bit. It'll probably talk too much.
It'll be quick.
No, it wouldn't be quick because you probably
I wouldn't spend time talking. That's a fact.
I'm trying to think. Who was the quarterback that was around the time of Terrell? Who was the other quarterback?
Oh no,
Bowerson. Bowserman. Bowserman's line was much shorter than Terrell Pryor's. That's what I was thinking of. So
they probably throw tomatoes at him.
They probably would, and justified. But the reason I'm calling Nebraska cowards before we go to the break here is because they canceled they have a 2026, 2027 home and home with Tennessee scheduled. Nebraska against Tennessee. That'd be fun to watch.
They canceled it?
In Lincoln
That would be nice.
That'd be fun to see, right?
Yeah, that's why.
That's like in Rocky Top? Yes, that'd be great. Nebraska canceled it. And Tennessee's disappointed, and that's why Matt Rule is still a coward for canceling that. Ohio State's got home and homes coming up with Texas, Alabama, and Georgia. I hope they keep all three of them because I want to see.
Not.
I don't think they will. I think the Texas one, yes.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's now.
Yeah, they get the Arch Manning coming here.
Right. So there's no way.
Alabama and Georgia, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I hope.
That'd be nice, though.
I hope they don't. I hope if it gets canceled, I hope it's not because of Ohio State. Is what I'm saying.
I agree.
I think that Matt Rule is a coward.
I wonder who would pull the plug.
What they're going to do.
When it goes between Ohio State.
I'll tell you what will happen here. I'm going to call it right now. It's like the TCU thing. They will say, instead of a home and home, we're going to play one game at a neutral site. We're going to play Alabama in Atlanta. We're going to play Georgia and New Orleans.
I want to go down. I'd like to see them play in Tuscaloosa.
So would I. I would love to see that. Yeah. And play in Athens, Georgia? That'd be great.
That'd be nice.
I hope they do it.
When was the last time Ohio State played down there?
I don't think Ohio State's ever played in Tuscaloosa. And I don't think they've played in Athens either. Never happened. They played Alabama like in a kickoff classic. Ohio State lost 16-10 in New Jersey one year. God, I've got so much stupid freaking knowledge in my head. All right. Tim's looking at the clock. Coming up next, let's preview a little Ohio State, UCLA. We'll do that next. This is Fan Sports Sunday on the Fan.
When was the last time you had your plumbing inspected? Small issues such as tiny leaks or old water heaters can quickly turn into big problems if they're not caught early. Take action with Logan Services and schedule a free winter plumbing safety inspection to help keep your home running smoothly. Schedule your free inspection now and experience the fast, friendly service you've come to expect from Logan Services.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. GI Bill, SkillBridge, and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
Hey folks, Austin Ward here, thinking I did something spectacular dropping 50 pounds, but then Steve pops in and dropped a whopping 150 pounds with Awaken 180 weight loss.
I got started because I was sick and tired of just being sick and tired all the time. Wanted more from life, and I knew that at my size, I wasn't being who I could be, who I want to be for not only myself, but for my wife. And I was like, something has got to change, and it's got to start soon. I mean, the program is so easy. Everything is really written down for you on your first day. Having someone there to help you and also keep you accountable, just having that someone to talk to, and even the fact that Awaken 180 offers free maintenance for life is amazing because our lives change on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. And sometimes you need help figuring it out because keeping the weight off is a lifetime commitment.
A lifetime commitment is what you'll receive with Awaken 180. More than 50 pounds to lose like I did or over 100 pounds like Steve, Awaken 180 can get you there and keep you there. Free support for life online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Join Bobby Mack and Jody Shelley for the Inside Edge, a behind-the-scenes look at all things Blue Jackets.
Wednesday night at 7.
Your home for Jackets hockey, The Fan. Your go-to destination for Buckeye football talk all year round. This is Fan Sports Sunday.
Fan Sports Sunday. Final segment of the program. It's Tito. By the way, Tim, you don't know this, but the T in Tyvis stands for 31-year-old. So 31-year-old pal to my right.
Life comes at you fast.
Old man.
Is it?
The old man.
Would you consider 31 old?
No. Not now, but back when you were 25, you thought 31 was old.
Did you think 31 was old?
When you were 25, do you think 31 was old? You did, right?
I don't think I did, no.
40
I would say for maybe a moment there was some hesitation about turning 30, and then when you're there, you still realize
I still feel
you're in your prime.
He's well into his 30s.
30s are pretty good.
Okay, Tim, let's clear up a couple things before we talk about Scott. We got to be quick. Is Tyvis an average person?
Is he an average person?
If I line up 100 people,
that's
100 men. No, I said 100 men.
You just let it be a vanilla question.
Why you got to be racing to it? Why are you bringing racing to it?
You always do that.
I don't think he meant it in that
Let's do
way.
a chocolate question. Okay. If time is there 100 people lined up.
Before you ask this question, can I ask you a question?
Please, go ahead.
Why are you clean shaven today?
Because for two reasons. One, we had Mekka Don on the show today.
What does that have to do with anything?
Because I knew more people would watch. At least I hope they would.
Who does he play for, by the way?
Mekka Don. Boston, Massachusetts.
No.
No, it's where he's from.
The name on the front of the jersey means a hell of a lot more than the one on the back.
But he says after that, he says, United States of America.
All right, what was the second reason?
The second reason was because my wife and I had a fight, and she likes the goatee.
So you took the beard and the facial hair off because of the fight in protest?
Yes, absolutely.
To get back at her?
How long does it take for it to grow back?
It'll be a while. It'll be a couple of weeks if I can get a little bit here. Yeah, well, Tim,
Can I just say this?
I know you. I'm telling you, you and I are more alike in that area than you think.
You look ridiculous, clean shaven.
Ridiculous.
You need something. It's not a strong word. It's the truth. If I could grow anything, I would grow it, but I can't. I'm at a detriment.
So am I.
I can't do it.
I can't do it either.
I would like to have what Tyvis has. I would like to have what even Bodie has.
Okay, is he average? Is Tyvis average?
He's not an average guy. He's above average.
That's what I mean.
You're above
exactly.
average.
We had this conversation.
Don't sell yourself short.
I was telling I'm a regular civilian. That's what I was getting at.
God.
You're an above average guy.
He's above average.
Anybody that played high Division I college sports that was on television
I said he was NFL adjacent.
Yeah, I mean, he was in the National Football League.
NFL adjacent.
No, he was in the NFL.
Dane had more interceptions than him.
I don't want to hear that.
Dane had more interceptions than him.
That's
a wide receiver.
How many years did Dane do?
I don't know, but he had one interception. How many did you have in the NFL?
0.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Well,
Dane, don't talk about preseason. Don't do this now. Don't talk about picking off the fourth string quarterback.
Crazy. I was a king in preseason.
I don't know why you have to bring Dane into the equation. Dane accomplished a whole heck of a lot.
He did.
For his size and stature.
He absolutely did.
Don't take what our pluses for Dane and make those negatives for our guy Tyvis. We're just having a discussion that he's above average, and you're saying
he's above average.
But now you're trying to look for things in the negative column. Which side are you on?
He is NFL adjacent. He's a great.
I don't like the way you use that term.
I don't either.
I don't like a lot about this.
That's fine.
I don't like looking at your face
right now.
Right.
I understand that.
What about this basketball team, though?
Yeah,
what about this Buckeye
you see that there's some guys out.
Yeah. Well, has that been upgraded to out, or I guess downgraded to out?
I saw you tweet it.
That's questionable.
No, I thought you said Aaron Bradshaw was out.
No, he is, but he was already out.
Oh, okay.
So
John
the
Mobley
concern is if Stewart and Mobley don't go or aren't 100%, because I'm a bit terrified.
Tim,
I'm a bit terrified of where they are right now. How are you not, Tyvis? Don't make that face.
I didn't say I wasn't.
Okay, there you go.
Said, after the last thing we seen, I don't know. That's the thing. That's what scares me about this team. I don't know what to expect.
Tim, so this, Jake Diebler recently had his 1-year anniversary of being the interim head coach, then obviously named the head coach later on, but interim head coach first game against Purdue, they won that one a year ago, which was great.
Yeah, they won 5 straight, right?
Won 5 straight.
7 out of 8, maybe?
Going into the Northwestern game, his winning percentage was better than what Holtman had in his whole career here. Not as good as Thad's.
Not as good as Chris Holtman's first year. Because
no, but I'm saying just like overall,
they
what
should
Holtman
have
did.
pocketed that regular season championship.
Yes.
And Northwestern was also a team that stood in the way because they had a home game against Michigan State.
Right.
And Northwestern was up, I want to say, by 19 or 20.
And then,
they blew it. And that cost the Buckeyes a share of a Big Ten championship in Holtman's first year. I think they were 15-3.
They were fantastic.
And now it's a different league.
But if you look at, though, the coaches before that even, Thad had the 750 winning percentage it was, but O'Brien's was lower.
Yes.
And, Randy Ayers was lower. And so was Gary Williams. And so was Eldon Miller. All those guys had lower winning percentages than what Diebler had coming into that Northwestern game. And I was all excited about the game. I said, they've got to win this game. They will win this game. Northwestern's 0-8 on the road so far this year. Ohio State is going to win this game. And it felt Holtman-ish.
I don't want to make this Holtman-ish, right?
That's in the dictionary. Look it up.
Holtman and Thad faced off yesterday, too.
They did.
So that was
yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
I don't want to make this about Jake Diebler and his job.
Right. Neither do I. No. Yeah.
A lot of people are already doing that. Yep. A lot of people are already pointing that out, and they want to hold him to the Dusty May standard. You're not going to have the record that Dusty May, we know that, right?
Yep.
You can, at the same time, be very disappointed if a team that was firmly in the NCAA tournament mix falls out of it here at the end. A crumble at the end of the season is a crumble at the end of the season. If you're in your first year, third year, fifth year, eighth year, either way, the standard is still the standard. Whether it's year 1 or year 8, you're trying to make the tournament and not just make the tournament. That should be the
standard for Ohio State.
Yeah, that's the baseline.
Yes,
I think that's
make the tournament.
That's
I'm with you.
Baseline, and they're all
Sweet 16s.
Yes,
great.
You're trying to flip and compete for a Big Ten championship. That's the standard. You can't get that right now. That's not attainable. It's just I'm giving him his chance, okay?
Sure.
I'm not saying to be happy with this team if they're going to lose this one today. Then it's going to be really dicey if they lose today, which I'm not confident about going to Pauley.
No, they're 6.5 point
7.5 point dog with
7.5 point. There you go.
What the roster looks like and who potentially isn't 100% and who is also out. The rebounding issues, the issues on defense, the issues shooting right now.
Yeah.
There's a lot to snap out of in one day, and it's Bill Walton Day.
Is it really?
It is. They're honoring him today.
That sucks.
It's not the best.
God.
right? You
go to hell, Bill Walton.
Well.
It's too late. He's where he is. Wherever he is, that's fine.
Listen, place.
Here's where he is.
He's a
can't do it. Listen,
guy.
Tim,
you gonna get him for smoking pot? You're gonna put him down there for that?
It's not that.
Come on. He's in the other place.
He was soft, but you should have beat Northwestern.
Injuries.
Well, whatever. Still soft. Should have beat Northwestern, but should not have beat Kentucky by 20. Right?
Absolutely.
So, where they're at right now is probably where they should be overall.
I don't accept that, though. I don't accept that. You beat Kentucky a long time ago.
I know.
I'm not doing that game of, you shouldn't have beat them, but you should beat Northwestern.
Tyvis,
so that we'll try to make that okay. It's not okay what happened against Northwestern.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you. All right. You're going to do the fan warm-up show?
Boy, that was some kind of segment.
Well, I don't disrespect Bill Walton. I'm a Celtics fan. I love what they did.
Tyvis, have you been okay the last couple of hours?
Ebony.
You filled in for this.
Hilarious.
Is it all right?
He wants to do it again, man.
He can't wait to go home.
No, he asked me to go out to have dinner together after this. Thanks so much.
Where he is.
Thanks so much. Tim Hall's next. Stick around. Fan warm-up show right now. Ohio State, UCLA coming up. We will do that next. Fan Sports Sunday on the Fan.
If you miss a live show, you can catch the podcast. If you miss the podcast, our hosts have volunteered to have dinner with you.
Ma, the meatloaf!
The Fan.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in, that's are us. Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH. Baths are us. When dreams don't get in, baths are us.
Hey folks, Austin Ward here, thinking I did something spectacular dropping 50 pounds, but then Steve pops in and dropped a whopping 150 pounds with Awaken 180 weight loss.
I got started because I was sick and tired of just being sick and tired all the time. Wanted more from life, and I knew that at my size, I wasn't being who I could be, who I want to be for not only myself, but for my wife. And I was just like, something has got to change, and it's got to start soon. I mean, the program is so easy. Everything is really written down for you on your first day. Having someone there to help you and also keep you accountable, just having that someone to talk to, and even the fact that Awaken 180 offers free maintenance for life is amazing because our lives change on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. And sometimes you need help figuring it out because keeping the weight off is a lifetime commitment.
A lifetime commitment is what you'll receive with Awaken 180. More than 50 pounds to lose like I did or over 100 pounds like Steve, Awaken 180 can get you there and keep you there. Free support for life online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Hi, Bob Mashuter back with a huge message for 2025. Dick Mashuter Ford is offering the biggest deals in a decade to kick off the new year. How about new Broncos for up to $16,000 off? New F-150s up to $11,000 off? and up to $12,000 off of Super Duties. If you resolve to save money this new year, then don't wait and grab your new Ford to kick off an awesome 2025. Dick Masheter Ford. Closed Sundays because it's the right thing to do, but 24/7 at masheterford.net.
For the Blue Jackets, the magic happens on the ice. But for Blue Jackets fans looking for an amazing getaway, the real Florida magic is here in Central Florida's Polk County. From the natural beauty of Bok Tower Gardens, to the all-ages fun at Legoland Florida Resort, to the chance to do some luxurious glamping on a working dude ranch, it's all here. Even better, it's all just minutes from other area theme parks, too. Discover everything we offer and plan your trip to see the real Florida at visitcentralflorida.com today.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals with savings beyond low prices. Like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
You can save big on 12 packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or 7-Up. Right now, select varieties or buy 2, get 2 free with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
The Reds are on the radio.
Long fly ball, deep left center field, way back, it is gone!
This could be an inside-the-park home run. Ellie De La Cruz is on.
He leaps and he caught it!
20 home runs on the year for Spencer Steer.
What will Terry Francona's 2025 Reds look like? Find out for yourself. Cactus League play is underway. Hear all the action on your home